Ripper, you get the worst of it tonight on this intro.
Nice.
I can't. Please tell me. Oh.
It's your birthday today, Ryan. It's your birthday today, Ryan. Rock and roll and celebrate. We lose control and you cut the cake. The night is yours. Destiny awaits. Oh, wait with me. Share toast with your closest mates. It's your birthday today, Ryan. It's your birthday today, Ryan. Grab your goodie bags. Open your gifts. Blow out your candles. Ryan!
Meet Eric July, also known as Hung Rippa 69. He is a runner, a dancer, a musician, a comic book lover, and YouTube star. This is not Hung Rippa, that's a white guy, and this is a small boy, waiting to be radicalized. He has nothing to do with this either. Eric July has gone through tough times and is now only down to one shirt. Please help Rippa get a new shirt on his back. Support this GoFundMe, and you too can help Rippa own more than one shirt. And now a word from our friends.
I want to help. You know what I mean? It's like... Edwin here. Can we help Hung Rippa get a new shirt? That guy really needs help. And you can try to help, because this is not okay. It's just not.
Jung Rippa 69. It's not right he only has one shirt. It's just sad. He doesn't even own a hoodie.
The hoodie. We gotta do better, man. We gotta like lock arm in arm and be together.
Before we talk about some of the things that was said, we're gonna listen in on this. Extremely gay. Oh shit! Okay, never mind what I just did. Had a nerd erotic boomer moment. That didn't happen. I'm not even gonna edit it out. Just pretend like it didn't happen. Anyway,
okay, good. That's good.
What the fuck?
Tuesday night main event, because what the fuck else you gonna watch?
Okay, and there we go. What's going on, everyone?
There's some surprises in that one. I just saw Adam's name there. Cricketers with attitude.
That was good.
I like how you put a time
pronouncing that.
I like how you put Barnes. He said, who's the guest? I said Barnes if he has time. And this is before we knew if the verdict was going to be announced. I was like, I don't know if he's going to make it on. So he put if time permits, Barnes. So that was really good. Rippa got the worst of it. I mean, damn. But the way he put that nerdrotic moment in there was absolutely phenomenal, man. I love that so much. So
That was good.
anyway, it's Tuesday night's main event. How's everyone doing? Unfortunately, there's nothing for us to talk about. There's nothing going on in the world. But then but then they had to bring Call of Duty into the Rittenhouse case, and I can justify talking about it for 3 hours here on a live stream. So it applies to Geeks and Gamers 100%. But we're joined by the birthday boy, as always, from RK Outpost. A day late on the birthday.
Yeah, a day later. My birthday was yesterday. Thank you, Jeremy. Appreciate it. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. We're going to be able to talk about the Kyle Rittenhouse stuff a little bit tonight. Like, this goes beyond anything. This is like the world is watching, at least America is watching what's going on in Kenosha for a multitude of reasons. And we're going to definitely talk about it because something we talk about a lot is the mainstream media and how they're continuously twisting the narrative. That has definitely happened in this Kyle Rittenhouse case. So that'll be a focus, at least in the early part of tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. So good to have Ryan here as always. We got young Rippa, Eric, fresh off some Halo streaming with me all night last night.
Yeah,
so
Ryan,
what's going on, man?
Yeah, that was
dude.
fun. Really, like, man, it's been a while since I've been just stoked on Halo shit, man. And that was a great time, and I think we're going again, if I'm not mistaken, tonight.
Yep, we're gonna play tonight. So
got the elite controller, so I'm going to be a true tryhard today. It's gonna be fun. But yeah, aside from that, obviously, for those of you that follow me, the website got finally fucking released as of yesterday, man, and it's the support that we're getting over there is insane. So I appreciate, of course, everybody from all different communities that have signed up over there. Big time, man. But that's been the story of my week. My team has been working fucking hard behind the scenes just to allow me some fucking breathing room so I can work and do other stuff, man. So it's been awesome. It's been an awesome week thus far.
Yeah, man, I'm really happy for you. I mean, you know, you every week, even on the premium Mario Kart stream, you still show up, even when I tell you, like, hey, man, it's all good. No, man, I'm there, you know, to show up for our premium members on the website. So I'm always going to have your back, and we're going to support everything you're doing, man. I love seeing it, and going to keep kicking ass and taking names together, man. So happy for you, man. Happy. So mods, if you can get, you can go to Rippa's Twitter account, probably find some of those links to his website.
EricBJuly.com.
Yep, there you go. So make sure you're dropping them all night. You guys go support. We're always talking about wanting to support independent media and alternate sites. This is the way you can do it right here. You got somebody who can't beat me in Mario Kart, but he can create a damn badass website. So, we've got Krista Nova. What's up, Krista?
What up? Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Are we going to allow you to talk tonight, or are we just going to? Yeah,
well, I'm really looking forward to her legal input on the Kyle Rittenhouse case. So
yeah, that's the only reason Barnes is here. He really wanted to have an in-depth discussion with Krista Nova about the legalities surrounding the Kyle Rittenhouse case.
Exactly.
And all she said was chicky nuggies, and he goes, maybe I'm in the wrong spot. We'll see. But returning once again, we can't get rid of him, or maybe he can't get rid of us, but he's always welcome here, and love having Adam here. Adam Krigler from the Krigler Show. What's up, my friend?
Oh, it's good to be back. It's good to be back. Yeah, we just can't get enough of each other, I guess. You know?
I know it, man. I know.
Although I have to keep pestering you guys to invite me to game. I know I haven't been joining you to Mario Kart, but I did get Halo, and I never got that invite. But I'll join you guys tonight, though. I mean,
hey, let's do it.
I know. Yeah, if you play, that's 4. I mean,
let's go. I mean, is it 4-man team? I haven't played it yet, so I don't know anything about it yet.
Well, we got 4-man teams, and they had the big team battle too, which is pretty chaotic. Because right now with Infinite, it is a beta right now, the multiplayer beta, so it's still in the developmental phase. But I mean, it's really good, but it's limited on the types of games you can choose right now online. So it only gives you like quick play, which kind of throws you into that 4v4 team Slayer, or that Slayer and Oddball, and then you have the big team match. But they did a great job with that game so far.
Cool.
And the Vanguard is something else. Me and Adam hopped on with us. We played till 6 a.m. the other day over on Twitch.
MVP first game.
So he was better than Rippa playing good all night, and then Adam comes in, he gets intimidated, and he goes like a 3-22 or something like that.
That number. The number of deaths every time he mentions that, it goes up. It was 3-9. That's what the record was. And it was my worst game.
but he keeps going up. First he says low, let 3 and 10, then it's 3 and 15. Now it's 3 and 22. It was not that bad.
Oh man, but yeah, it was good stuff. It was good stuff. And returning once again, this guy has become a superstar on the Sports Wars channel and has led him to so many opportunities. So he can thank us for that. No kidding.
Yes.
Robert Barnes from Viva Barnes Law. How are you, Robert? Thank you for joining us, man.
Good.
You are a busy man, so we appreciate your time. You have been just kind of in the thick of everything. I mean, and obviously that's the hot topic for right now is the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. I know, Ryan, you've been plugged into this thing like a madman. So
anytime I'm not posting like about a video an hour, it's because I'm like pretty busy on something, and that has been just watching the entire Kyle Rittenhouse trial play out in front of us for a multitude of reasons, because the way the media is representing it, because the way that you see people on Twitter misrepresent it or coming to the realization that, in fact, no, it wasn't Black people that were killed in this. And of course, another reason that it's been so interesting is because of the way the mainstream media coverage has been blown out by our very own Nick Rekieta. And speaking of that, here he is right here.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, Nick reached out to me, said I need some help getting a signal boost, Jeremy. So
Please.
YouTube took down my stream and I haven't recovered since. So I was like, I mean, Nick, my time is precious, but I think we can fit you in. How are you, man? It's awesome having you on too.
Very good, and I really do appreciate the signal boost, of course. It's been a wild couple weeks, man.
Yeah.
Yes, it has. Yes,
I'm hyped for you, dude. I'm hyped for you, though. That's awesome. You needed it. You deserve it.
Yeah, I am convinced that you and Ryan are literally the same person. It's weird because Ryan never stops. Like, he never stops working, never. And then here you are streaming for like 9 hours. And then you're nice enough to hop on here and you're probably going to do another stream later tonight, knowing you. And then you'll be back streaming all day tomorrow. Like, it's crazy. So
yeah. You know, I'm sad that you actually pegged me on that, because I was thinking about it and I was like, oh, I don't need to do a stream tonight. And I was like, oh,
you kind of do, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you going on YouTube or are you going on Twitch later?
That's what I haven't decided. I have the Rittenhouse thing. The problem with going on YouTube is I don't know of anything going on outside of Rittenhouse anymore. Like, that's all of my news is focused on that. Like, I love that someone sent me the Kenosha County Eye news story earlier today about Binger, and I did not go ahead and mention Binger's email address, which is quite comical.
Ooh. There you go.
I mean, I can if you
want.
Look,
I
kind of want to know now. What?
Yeah.
Is it funny?
Text
it to me so I at least know. You don't want to like drop it on the show.
No, I can. It's allegedly his at least a former email address. I don't know if it's current. Was flufferboy2004 at yahoo.com. And you may think that that's a joke, but that's the report on this.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, and you retweeted today. I said you can't make this shit up. He evidently he lived for a time with a male judge. They lived together, just bros being bros, probably fucking each other in the ass, but just bros being bros. And and I think I kind of want to talk about that a little bit, about Binger, not about that, but about Binger in general, because it's funny, all the people that want Kyle locked up and thrown away the key and all this stuff, they're typically the ones that are telling us that the judicial system is prejudiced and that these people are bad people that are in charge, that are locking people away. You would think that they would see what's going on and how dishonest and disingenuous the prosecution has been and the cops have been, and would say, wow, maybe we have some crossover there. Maybe these people can kind of get their eyes open.
Right. None of them are watching. None of those people are watching the trial, though. Yeah. Everyone you're talking about right there, none of them are watching the trial.
Yeah. And I know that Robert's been tied into this case from the very beginning. I know I know that Robert was up there for a while in Wisconsin when they were doing jury selection, all that. What's kind of your takeaway of Binger and the prosecution and what they've done in this case?
I mean, it's been a corrupt, politically motivated prosecution from day one that would not be brought by 99 out of 100 prosecutors. Other prosecutors have said the same thing. It's something I think the judge thinks that and recognizes it as such. And the only reason we're here is because of the politically motivated prosecution. And Kyle may be at some degree of risk of a mistrial because they decided not to take any of the help that was offered for jury selection. It appears, I mean, the cultural component of this is very strong. So it appears there's like 3 Karens on the jury. They were sitting together when they came back in. That's the risk factor. And there are people who do harshly judge someone like Kyle because of games like Call of Duty. In other words, these are the kind of mothers that say, oh, you shouldn't watch that. You shouldn't participate in that. See a gun and they think scary, scary, scary. I mean, it's that kind of mindset, that kind of mentality. And because of all the pretrial prejudice and pretrial publicity from that, that created that prejudice, is why Kyle was at any degree of exposure. When we polled Kenosha, basically about 2/3 presumed him guilty. Now, many of those you could persuade otherwise once they knew what the real facts were, because you had a completely fake news narrative and media narrative about this case, all of which have been proven to be documented and demonstrable lies at this stage. Not that the media has really backed down that much from those lies. Nick got into a little discussion with Dear Joe Scarborough, who wanted to keep repeating the lies on social media. But I mean, the kid's as innocent as any self-defense case I've ever seen. He's as innocent as any defendant, as any person I've ever represented. I represented him up to a week before trial. I had a disagreement with Mark Richards about, I thought we needed a very robust jury selection team and that he might benefit from some additional people at counsel table during trial too. I was willing to forfeit one as long as we got the other in terms of jury selection because of the risk. And I think, unfortunately, they have a couple of rogue jurors on that jury. And now Kyle's got to pray that they come to their senses and give them the full acquittals to which the evidence entirely entitles them to. And people like Jonathan Turley, leans a liberal Democratic law professor, Alan Dershowitz, longtime left-wing law professor, both of them said the kid's completely innocent. So this is any honest, objective observer watching the development of the facts, even despite a lot of unfortunate errors, unforced errors made by the defense during this trial. The evidence is so overwhelming, the facts so clear and convincing that there's no doubt the kid is completely innocent. And it's only because of media lies that the kid faces any risk or exposure at all.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, like Ripa, I know me and you actually released a similar video, and I didn't see yours until after I did. Basically, just talking about how this is more important than Kyle Rittenhouse. You know what I mean? Yeah. But 100%. Like, that's kind of like the whole, and that's no disrespect to him, because obviously from his perspective, this is massively important, but none of us knew who Kyle Rittenhouse was before this happened. But now you look at the implications
he took up his gun.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck around and find out. That's what happened. But, so now we're at a point where, in my opinion, and again, we have 2 experts here, but, and Nick Rekieta. Chris is the other expert when I said 2, but no, but, we got 2 experts here with Rekieta and Barnes in terms of the legal aspect. But if he's found guilty, in my opinion, this is bad for every one of us for the future of self-defense and anything, because it shows you that political ideology and social media and activists and people that don't want to work for anything in life except for, working to pretend that they're oppressed can really affect the outcome of a cut and dry self-defense case. Am I missing something there, or is that
gun ownership
accurate?
I think gun ownership in general is also being attacked right now.
Yeah, that's
no doubt.
True.
Yeah, we heard it from the prosecution's own mouth that he should lose his right to self-defense because he brought a gun. I mean,
right.
Which is
there. It is exactly. See,
yeah, and it's perfectly legal for him to have a gun. We've many of us have known that for a very long time, but the judge confirmed that by dismissing the gun possession charge. He was a 17-year-old who was legally allowed to have the gun he had. He was legally allowed to be where he was. All of that narrative is gone, and if you notice, that narrative got abandoned by the prosecution, and now they had to rebuild their entire story in the past couple days, and they've been working really hard on it. But But Robert and I had talked about this a long time ago with the gun charge, that charge was never proper, and a good read of the law would show that. The media never wanted to do it. And the reason they never wanted to do it is because the very audacious idea that a state might allow a 17-year-old just the ability to carry a gun around for a short period of time was so atrocious to the mainstream media, despite the fact that, that's been happening in our country for 250 years. Well, technically longer, even before we were a country. That's been the norm. And they're trying to make it not the norm and to make it seem audacious, but it never has been.
To make it criminally provocative so that you no longer have a self-defense because you didn't take a beating, as the prosecutor said Kyle was supposed to, because you didn't engage in a fist fight, because the prosecutor says that's what you're supposed to do, because you're supposed to recognize a Glock is smaller than your AR-15, so you're supposed to just drop your AR-15 and assume the Glock won't hit you from 2 feet away. A bullet won't hit you in the head. I mean, that was some of the absurdities, but the dangerous absurdities. This implicates self-defense for everybody. It implicates Second Amendment rights for everybody, because if they can convict Kyle Rittenhouse, this kid, under the facts of this case in a place like Kenosha, middle America, they can convict anybody, anywhere, anytime. The corruption of the press combined with the corruption of the prosecutor can railroad anybody, and they don't want you to have self-defense. They want they only want to be the ones to control the streets. Their approved leftist violence is the only approved violence. They want the same thing the communists want, the so-called anti-fascists of the 1930s in Germany's wanted. They wanted to own the streets, own the bars, competing with the Nazis and the fascists to get it. And they want to be able to be the only ones that are allowed to use violence, the only ones that are allowed to be criminal, the only ones that are allowed to riot and loot. I was watching some of the press coverage tonight, and they were still calling it protest. That Kyle shot people at protests. No. He shot himself at self-defense against a bunch of criminal sociopaths who are rioters and looters and arsonists who are trying to destroy the dreams of people in Kenosha. Kyle was the one protecting a minority, immigrant, woman-owned business. That was Kyle. Kyle wasn't the one using the N-word. That was the person he shot, was the one calling people N-words all night long.
And Mark Richards, to be fair.
I was going to say,
yeah. Other than Richard's decision to repeat that in opening. And the only person who's been reckless with a gun in this whole trial is the prosecutor himself, who decided to point a gun at the jury with his finger on the trigger.
That was crazy. There's been so many things, I think, for people that aren't used to watching these types of things play out. Even you guys, even the lawyers, even the experts who are used to watching this play out have been shocked by some of the behavior of the prosecution and the lack of objections by the defense at times. And for Krause, for that dude to stand up there and say that, he was a coward, he should have stood there and fought the entire mob. The only thing that Krause has been fighting his entire life is high cholesterol and type 2 diabetes. Like, let's get that straight. Like, there's no way that dude has ever been in any type of fight whatsoever. And Ripa, you made a couple videos about this too. And I think that the echo chamber that exists for most of the people on Twitter with blue check marks for the mainstream media, that they can't possibly see this any other way. What's your take on kind of that side of things and how people still, even when it's right in fucking front of their faces, they can't understand?
Well, look, this whole thing has been the case against democracy, the case against, which is effectively mob rule anyway. But I say all the time that the people are retarded. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is. I mean, you can sit up here and put it in a lot of people's face for them, cut and dry, clear, and they still it's like they don't want to see it, so they prevent their eyes, or rather their brain, from processing what it is right there in front of them. This is actually amazing, because this is about as, like, what Rob was saying, about as clear cut and dry self-defense that probably we'll ever see. And the fact that really this is even on trial should worry everybody, even if you get the results that are more preferable. These guys have been able to spin a situation, and and this is why I continue to call them retarded, because they can't even, they're so, is a default, right? This is why NPCs, I say this every day on the show, is the most appropriate term to describe these people that we're dealing with. The fact that they're still playing, I had a guy, when I was talking about it this morning, playing this whole racial aspect of of, oh, well, he's white, this, and that. Like, there's still people out there that don't understand that the only people that this man shot were other white folk. As blue check mark still, despite this being a public trial, still running with that nonsensical default. And it's because they're fucking stupid, and stupid people are fucking dangerous, and they're willing to unfortunately ruin someone's life over this, because they look at it like, and this is why I'll piggyback off of what Robert was saying. This is why it's way bigger than Kyle Rittenhouse, because what people are saying that want him to be essentially criminalized is that you obviously don't have the right to defend yourself, and in the event that you protect yourself from their political allies, you then become the criminal in that case. And that is such a dangerous precedent, certainly to set, because you can see it, or rather hear it, in the language it is that they use. Like, one of the go-tos with this is, well, he had no business being there. Notice they don't apply that same logic to the rioters and the looters and the arsonists or anything like that. One of which, I believe that Gage cat traveled like 30 more minutes further than what Kyle did to get there.
Like 60 miles or something. Yeah,
exactly. So with that being said, they've been stripped of that, but they have to continue to apply that, because again, they believe that they have the right to use aggression upon other individuals. And they damn be if there is a person that wants to stop someone from being successful at doing that. They want you completely relying upon the state, who's when it comes to protecting you, they have no issues telling be it National Guard folk or be it the police officers to stand down as people run your fucking entire block down into the motherfucking ground. They'll tell them to do that. So that's flaky at best anyway. But what they want every individual in this country really to be is dependent upon them and not being able to protect yourself from potential aggressors, which is all this is really what this case is. It's a guy that took protection of himself and property in his own hands, and he was successful, very efficient. And this is as a guy that shoots guns all the fucking time. I'm obsessed with him. And for him to be as efficient at that young of age as well, if anything, is about the most impressive shit that I've ever fucking seen, because the only threats that were neutralized were the actual threats. And that's fucking impressive. But this has implications, I mean, well beyond Kyle Rittenhouse. And this is something that I've, of course, been trying to relay to even the libertarians, that, we look at all this shit as corrupt all the time. And yeah, of course, I would believe that. But understand, if this man goes down for this youngster goes down for this, they smell blood in the water, and it's only going to increase from there. And this is why it's very important. It's vital that we pay attention to this, and it's going to be interesting to see what the results are. But if this man goes down, you got to understand that this shit's about to get real.
Yeah, and to make the point, like, and I know this is the Geeks and Gamers channel, and we're talking about, this, and the reason is because this channel is elevated off of us talking about what a lot of people say isn't very important. But like I said, the same people that were calling us racist and sexist for not liking a movie are the same people that were saying we're endangering society if we don't get the jab. Just they can get it. That's fine. None of us have a problem. You can go get it. But then they're telling us that their authoritarian way, we have to like the movies they like. We have to do the things that they want. And now with this situation, these are the same type of people that are pushing that. So it all matters, and it's all going to affect every single aspect of our lives. And that's what we're seeing. So it's important to speak out against it. And so that is the point that I wanted to make. And so Ryan, toss it back to you.
And you've got some people, and Adam brought this up. I want to watch this for a second to kind of get Adam's take on how somehow these people are being heralded as heroes.
Do this full screen. I mean, look at this. They put the three of them on superhero outfits.
This is insane.
This is how these people are pushing them, though. That these guys are heroes. That they stopped Kyle, and they're basically explaining that Kyle was some sort of mass shooter. That he was waving around an AR-15, and these guys jumped in front of him and saved people's lives. This is
psychotic. Like what this woman says is absolutely psychotic. It is truly deranged. Now, I question if this person might be a Fed. because I don't know how this person could be a normal person saying this.
I got more examples. You want me to give you more examples?
This person's a little too ugly
not
to
just
be
this.
upset, I think.
Well,
I don't see any Ray-Bans in the picture.
Exactly. I want to listen to a little bit of this for these people to be confronted and then try to give a non-explanation.
Joseph Rosenbaum, a hero. There's kind of been questions about why you would call him a hero, considering his criminal history involving minors, since he's a convicted sex offender.
So my answer to that is what it says right here. On August 25th, 2020, they were selfless heroes. They could have saved dozens of lives. I would never jump in front of a guy with an AR-15 strapped on him. And so they were heroes. And I'm sick and tired of everybody making like they, like they deserved to die. They were good for nothing. They were useless. No, they weren't. They were.
So to be perfectly clear, as we've seen, if you've watched this trial play out, Kyle Rittenhouse did not point his gun at anyone throughout the night. Kyle Rittenhouse was helping people throughout the night. He was providing medical care to people. He was cleaning up graffiti during the day. While people were threatening to kill him, he still never pointed a gun at anyone. It was only when communists and convicted child rapists decided to attack him that he used his right of self-defense as the last possible resort after running away.
Yeah, technically, Rosenbaum was trying to arm himself with his gun.
Yeah, actually, we now know all three were. We know all three were. The prosecution has admitted to, they won't admit to Rosenbaum grabbing for the gun, but they do on Huber, and they have to because there's a picture of him literally pulling the gun in, away and into his own chest. And they said about Gage Grosskreutz, despite the fact that he's got a cell phone in his hand and there's no way in hell that he's like attempting to grab a gun. I don't know. But they said that he definitely wasn't trying to shoot Kyle. They said he was trying to grab the gun or get it away, that was the goal. So we know from the prosecutor that all of them are trying to arm themselves. They're all trying to get Kyle's gun. And I love that. They should say that more often, as much as possible, that they're trying to steal this man's gun, because that is justifiable self-defense. But I wanted to riff a little bit off of what Young Rip was saying, because this is about the most sacred right that you might have, right? Like your ability to defend yourself. And the ephemeral they want to take that away because they think that the police will save you, or they say that. But look at what situation we're in. This is why it's such a good case for all of this in the political climate, especially. This is a case where there were no police. The police were not going to save anybody that night. That's why Kyle's there. There's no, not for the police aspect, but there's no EMTs coming in. There's no ambulance that's going to drive into the riot area of Kenosha. Exactly. There's no fire department that's going to come there that night. And without people out there actually on the streets, they would have had a repeat of the previous night, which was far worse as far as property damage and fires went. But that got toned down. Why? Because there's a bunch of people out there protecting themselves and protecting their city when the cops wouldn't do it. And so if they're taking away our ability to have guns, and then secondarily our ability to defend ourselves, because by the way, once your gun is gone, you defend yourself with your hands and your feet like they're suggesting, you're going to prison for that. That is the next step. They want you to be subservient and reliant upon the government.
Absolutely.
And that is why this is so critical, because there are times when it's politically expedient, especially if you're the Democrat mayor of Kenosha and you want to win a re-election. It's really politically expedient to have a left-wing mob run through your town and talk about how evil the police were for shooting Jacob Blake. And they won't let the police go in. So then how do you defend yourself if you can't?
Exactly.
Yeah. And now, of course, you have the governor sending 500 troops of the National Guard in, just in case there's riots for this trial. Hey, jurors, I know you're watching because you're not sequestered. Just so you know, we're sending in a bunch of National Guard in case you come to the wrong verdict. Hope we don't have to use them, though. That part's been disgusting to me. What were you going to say, Robert?
Yeah, what you see is parallel structuring. And it was what today defines a good writer, a good director, a good actor, a good producer, a good movie CEO. it's the same thing that defines the good people in the Rittenhouse story, their political beliefs. Not whether their content is actually good, not whether they meet meritocratic standards, empirical standards, objective standards, only whether they meet certain politicized standards. And that's how you have a circumstance in which you have an innocent kid with no criminal history out helping people, treating people that night, protecting again the property, businesses, and dreams of minorities, immigrants, and women that night. When the police had abandoned it, when the governor had refused to send in the National Guard against riotous criminals, the 3 people involved who attacked him that night, ambushed him that night, wanted to kill him and who knows how many other people that night because they were accelerating their violence like a sociopath does. First start out here, then go, first start out with little property damage, then start out with throwing things around, then start out with some tear gases and pepper spray, then go up to arson, see if the arson can get bigger and bigger and bigger. And they were going to accelerate it to beating the daylights and killing Kyle Rittenhouse. And who knows where else it goes. Those people with long criminal histories, multiple rapes of children in the case of Rosenbaum, in the case of Huber, tried to kill his own family members, threatened to kill his own family members. In the case of Grosskreutz, an associated member of a communist organization by his own admission on the stand, who brought a gun with them in that night, who knew Kyle was running to the police line because Kyle told him he was running to the police line, who followed him, who admitted Huber he thought was going to kill Kyle. And what does he do? He comes up with his Glock, tries to stick his face, and that's when he gets shot, as he admitted on cross-examination. Yet they become the superheroes. Solely why? It's not the content of their behavior. It's it's because of their politics. They're on the right political line, so they become the victims, and Kyle becomes the evil assailant, even though he was the actual superhero that night.
Yeah,
right. Well said.
Yes, he was.
And I think a different aspect to this entire thing is what we've seen with Nick's streams, and really anybody who's covering it from the independent side of things. The fact that Nick's sitting there, vying for the top spot live stream on YouTube, while PBS, Fox News, like whoever else that's providing these coverages are dragging behind. And then YouTube pulls some shenanigans. They copyright block his stream. Oh, somehow that was an accident. Oh, they accidentally set it to kids only, even though it's a murder trial. Every day it seems like there's something else to try to keep Nick from hitting 100,000 views. But
that meme Nick shared earlier on your stream as your stream was ending was fantastic. Whereas you're going to 100,000 views and then YouTube comes in. And then your point earlier too, because you said this towards the end of your stream earlier, where you're like, when YouTube responded to you, and I think you said they put it in all caps, the word "this," is that what they put all caps? And you're like,
yeah,
never seems to happen with the Fox Newses of the world or the ABCs or CNNs. They never have a glitch like that, but suddenly it happens to Nick when he's got 85,000 people watching him.
Yeah, it's and the fact that Team YouTube, they have this weird selective responsiveness on Twitter. Again, at the time we were pushing towards being, I think at the time we were the #1 stream covering Kyle Rittenhouse. We may have been the #1 live stream on YouTube at that point. 77,000 people, and it gets this random claim that happened to all independent coverage around the same period of time. None of the mainstream sources, even though everybody's using the same court TV feed. Every single person is using the exact same video and audio feed, and with some level of delay difference between the different feeds. None of them go down. And then, again, it's the biggest stream on YouTube on the subject, and they're absent for 24 hours in responding. Sometimes you tag Team YouTube on Twitter and you get a response in minutes. And it's
with people with no followers, they're responding to people all the time. And then you tweet, you get like 1,000 or 2,000 likes and retweets and nothing, crickets. It's bullshit.
Yep.
It's absolute bullshit. And we'll see, like, I've never really bought in. Like, I follow a lot of channels, as we all do, and I see different channels that have blown up over the years that have millions of subs, and they don't have the interaction that you would think they would have with millions of subs. And these aren't controversial channels. So, I see things like that. I'm like, you fall off for various reasons. And so I don't put a lot of stock. A lot of people will say like, oh, my channel is being, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, I don't really know if that's the case, but I'll go back to, I had a Dave Chappelle when Sticks and Stones came out. I had a Dave Chappelle video. It hit 300,000 views in like less than 24 hours. And it had a 99% like to dislike ratio. And I was like, this is going to be 1 million views minimum. You know what I mean? It never hit 400,000 views. It never hit 400,000 after hitting 300,000 in one day. And the channel really never has been the same since that. Like before, when my channel was growing, I was like, oh, if a video hit like 10,000 views in the first hour, it was guaranteed 100,000 views. Now, if I hit 10,000 in an hour, sometimes they'll get 12 to 15. And so my channel's never been the same. So I didn't really think about that until what happened with you, Nick. And I saw it and I was like, there's no fucking way you're going to convince me that this is not coordinated. Everybody knows who Nick Rekieta is right now. He's killing it. He's blowing it up. Everybody is watching this and getting an unbiased take on what's going on. CNN can't manipulate it when Nick is sitting there dropping bombs to hundreds of thousands of people. And for them to do that, it really kind of made me go, man, they really are plugged into this stuff and they will sabotage. I have no doubt that they sabotaged you. It's absolutely ridiculous.
I had, you know who Zach Voorhees is? Is
it Jason's little brother?
No, he so this is the Google whistleblower that in 2019 came out with Project Veritas, and he explained to me, I had him on my show a couple months back, and he was talking about how Google pretty much went, I don't know how to describe it. They almost like lost all the rest of their marbles when Trump won. They suddenly started manipulating the algorithms because they wanted to make sure the whole Russian disinformation campaign, basically, that whole dossier, all that stuff, the Steele stuff, which of course now is debunked. But Google was like trying to maintain it and manipulating the algorithms, and he was working there, and he's like, "This is evil. Like this is evil stuff. Like how are you manipulating stuff like that?" And he said like the algorithms are absolutely real. And the scary part of what I learned from him, it's almost too beyond human control now. It's getting to the point where there's no one human that could be like, all right, I'm going to stop manipulating the algorithm here. I'm going to change it. So, all right, you're not going to be manipulated in this sense anymore. It's almost too beyond our control to filter people into these little online circle bubbles that people get stuck in, the check marks that we were talking about on Twitter, where they just follow each other. And I mean, obviously you get to choose who you follow, but Twitter also kind of shows you what they want to show you on the timeline, what you're seeing. So that's just Twitter alone. But Google, I mean, the umbrella of what Google has, which of course is YouTube as well. Yeah. They control and manipulate everything.
Well, they've already admitted to that. They've admitted to like that with the COVID stuff. With them saying that they are, and it's funny because when they announced that, if you read the actual, I guess this public statement that YouTube put out, it doesn't even really specify that it has anything to do with just medical misinformation. When they're saying that they're trying to funnel the authoritative, that's the term that they use,
right?
Like figures or whatever. On any given subject. They don't even they allude to it, but they don't really even specify that it's just pertaining to health or like COVID related stuff.
I'm sure that's on purpose. They keep it vague so that they could be like, now that falls under this rule. Yeah. See, even though the same other channel, like for Nick, for example, like he was doing the same public, live feed from the courthouse, but for some reason his violated some sort of what did they say? I took a picture of it.
It was I think they just cited policy violations on the page, but
policy violations, right?
Yeah, I
had basically because reasons. That's basically what
because reasons, right?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Great.
On YouTube Studio, it said that they detected copyrighted audio, which is ludicrous when you think about this being a judicial proceeding in an open public court.
Right.
That there was copyrighted audio going on. And
whose voice do you think?
Hey, we might have some breaking news from Pasobic. Pull up Pasobic's tweet right now, and while you're pulling that up, I'm going to read the super chat, and then we got some breaking news on this trial. So hey guys, big fan of Friday Night Tights and your channels. Congrats to Rekieta Law and his panel's success covering this trial. Your play-by-play of this trial has been informative, entertaining, and I think is going to change the way big trials are covered. Absolutely. Big shout out to him. I'll follow up on that in a minute. So let's talk about this potential breaking news right now. Ryan.
Yeah, so I don't know if this is new or if Robert or Nick, if you guys have seen this yet. This was filed yesterday. It is a motion for mistrial with prejudice. So I know there was talk about that, but I don't know if they ever actually went over that in court yesterday.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I don't think they went over it in court. I mean, I don't know if they list all the violations, but here's the sequence of violations by the prosecutor in this case. First, he brought 2 charges that were one ultimately without merit. The curfew charge he didn't produce evidence of, and he knew there was questions about whether it was lawful in its application to Kyle. But the gun charge, any reasonable prosecutor would have known there was no basis to bring. This was not a short barrel rifle. You, as a 17-year-old, have always had the lawful right to possess a rifle or shotgun in Wisconsin. It was plainly obvious from anybody, Nick, me, others said this at the time, within days of the charges being brought. Then after that, he lied about Kyle repeatedly using bail proceedings and pretrial evidentiary proceedings to libel Kyle, knowing that provides immunity. If the media reports a lie in a court file, they're immune from suit. So is the prosecutor. He lied about Kyle not giving his address, tried to imply Kyle fled, which was completely false, lied about, implied Kyle crossed state lines with guns at one point, which he knew was patently false, lied about Kyle knowingly associating with Proud Boys, which wasn't true, lied about Kyle doing an OK sign and said it was a secret white power gesture, which is ridiculous. I've already had a federal court rule that's libel in another case. Then when he got to trial, it was exposed that he tried to suborn perjury from one witness. I believe he did suborn perjury from the owners of CarSource, had to know was perjury he was putting on the stand. Then he violated Kyle's Fifth Amendment rights by commenting on Kyle's silence leading up to the trial, which has been a violation under U.S. Supreme Court law for almost half a century, as the judge himself noted. Then he violated a pretrial order not to discuss certain evidence, which was patently inadmissible and completely more prejudicial than it was probative. Then he lied about facts and lied about law in his closing arguments repeatedly and routinely. And it turns out, unsurprisingly, he withheld material evidence from the defense throughout the trial. And what happened is they had this magical fairy tale where the evidence fairy dropped a little piece of drone footage in their possession right before trial. They were late in disclosing the FBI video. The FBI magically lost the HD version of their video when the prosecutor would have known about it for months and took no actions to preserve it or to fully disclose it. And it turns out here they gave them a compressed version of the video, which didn't allow them to fully access it. It turned out they had the full version all along, but didn't show it until closing argument. So it's just been violation after violation after violation. And in a case this high profile, if a prosecutor, this would be my argument to the court, the whole world is watching this case. If they know a prosecutor can flagrantly, blatantly violate core constitutional rights when the world is watching, then there's no constitutional remedy, and it will encourage and incentivize other prosecutors to engage in other bad conduct. I think the judge is sitting on this motion, hoping the jury makes it moot by coming back with full acquittals. But if some sort of weird result happens, either mistrials or something else, split verdicts, then the judge still has the legal authority to dismiss with prejudice. The limitation is when you do a mistrial with prejudice after the jury has deliberated, then that is appealable. Whereas if you did declare a mistrial with prejudice while jury jeopardy still applies, that's not appealable. So, but I believe the judge should. I believe he already should have, but hopefully he will if it becomes necessary to grant a mistrial with prejudice. And what that means is a mistrial without prejudice, hang jury, the prosecutor can retry the case. Mistrial with prejudice, he cannot retry the case unless the Court of Appeals reinstates it.
Real quick, Ryan, 2 things. One, first, restart and update your Steam, you Philistine. 2, you're on the perfect page here. And this is something that was not immediately clear as we were watching the deliberation over this evidence prior to closing arguments. And this is paragraph 12. And we see here that this happened live. They said, Judge, we have the video from the drone that they want to show. We have the video. The defense had it. The prosecution was not ready. And so they said, oh, okay, we'll use yours. And then they play it. And the prosecution even says, this doesn't look right. This we have a better version. We have a better version. It was like, well, that's pretty weird. It should be the exact same. And they even said, oh no, it's the same one that's in the Dropbox. Ours is just better. Theirs is just messed up. And now we find out that the resolution difference between the videos is 844p down to 480 by 212. I mean, we're talking colossal differences in resolution. I know the audience knows about resolution, because if you've ever had the stream kind of glitch up and YouTube drops you down to 240p, everything looks like garbage. Like I look handsome at that point. And so that's the thing. This is even okay, not to everybody, but if you look,
definitely to Binger.
This is even lower resolution, 480 by 212, an embarrassingly small amount of resolution. You're talking how Kyle looks in that video is literally 7 pixels high, maybe 10. And we're supposed, and the defense was supposed to discern this. Now the state knows that the defense has a video expert who can actually do the similar things that they're doing, who could analyze the video. Why wouldn't they provide it? Gee, I wonder.
Yeah.
Gee, I wonder.
Yeah, and this does list basically all the well, not all, but a lot of the reason, Robert, that you went over. And, you know, that's obviously the big one right there, the withholding the video evidence. I haven't even gone through this part. But when you look at what the judge is trying to do, I think he's a naive guy. He wants to believe that Kenosha can do the right thing. And because Richards, the defense team, did not probably press hard enough about how biased Kenosha is. Like you said, Robert, 2/3 of Kenosha already presumes that he is guilty based off of the media spin that's on everything. All the videos that are out there that were manipulated to show Kyle as some sort of lunatic who was out there. And in his desire to want to let the jury do this, he may end up fucking Kyle. And that's not okay. He knows, you can tell that he thinks he should dismiss this, that he should do a mistrial with prejudice, but he wants to believe in Kenosha. And I just hope that I hope that doesn't screw him in the end.
What is this drone video that we're seeing now from Pasobic? What is this?
Let me pull it up real quick.
Yeah,
low quality, I believe. Is it legit?
I mean, it's legit, except that you can't see anything. It's the video that they've been using as the basis for this idea that Kyle pointed his gun at the Zeminskis.
Oh, yeah.
It's a video that came in. Robert, you said right before trial. I was under the impression it came in on the Friday after. Yeah, it came in on Friday after
November 5th, right?
A mistrial should have been granted at that point, in my view. I mean, new evidence shows up in the middle of trial. That's a mistrial. Either the evidence has to stay out, or it's a mistrial. Because it could at least completely change things, and they did not have adequate time or the appropriate underlying video to have an expert break it down and show. Because what they did is the whole goal of Binger was to use the updated video to create a fake image of Kyle pointing a gun when that can't be the case. He has to go from right-handed to left-handed. They lie about that there are no such things as right-handed or left-handed guns. He has to shift, and he has to completely physically shift in a way that doesn't make any sense. And it's not consistent with any testimony at all. And by the way, that's another area of misconduct. The prosecution has deliberately taken people away from the availability to be witnesses by prosecuting them. And holding that over them so that they can't testify, like Zeminski, like Jump Kick Man. They've also been lying about Jump Kick Man, pretending not to know who he is. Turned out they knew all along, and they've been hiding the information because Jump Kick Man would only testify if he was given immunity. So he would only tell the story lies they wanted him to tell if he got immunity for another guy with a long litany of crimes who was recklessly endangered, according to the prosecution that night. And so this was just another issuance of lies and deceptions and misrepresentations and malfeasance. And it's as egregious as it can get in any kind of case. The court should have taken more proactive action early. And I think, one area where I disagree with Richards is I felt it was necessary to go after Binger in the court of public opinion, document the fact he has a history of doing this in a lot of other proceedings, putting aside the rumors of his inappropriate relationships with certain people in positions of power and influence. Putting that aside, whatever you think of his personal lifestyle, God bless. But the issue is more who he's had some of those relationships with, according to the stories. But putting that aside, his long history of misconduct. Again, I mean, what he's doing to Kyle is not something new for Little Binger. It's been something he's been doing for a while. It's been something he's doing for many years, and it needed to be fully outed. They had a different strategic approach, so be it. But it needs to be dealt with now, and the court needs to deal with it. Even if Kyle is fully acquitted, the court needs to take remedial action against Binger, because we can't have prosecutors getting away with open, aggressive misconduct, corrupt prosecutors and a corrupt press trying to railroad an innocent kid, which is what this case is all about fundamentally, aside from its political undertones and political prejudice, or we are all at risk anywhere in America.
Well said. And that's the point that I think everybody, regardless of your, ground level interest in this particular case from, a day-to-day standpoint, everybody needs to realize that this does affect all of us. It affects every single one of us in some way, shape, or form. I heard, was it Joe Rogan talking about, it's a difference when you hear the news lying about you versus watching it from afar, and you actually hear how these people, how terrible they are. And they are really horrible people right now. You cannot get honest coverage from the mainstream media right now. And it's frustrating, man. I mean, anybody that watches that fucking video, my God, it's not that complicated. I was talking about this the other day with the YouTube like to dislike bullshit. And, someone was asking me like, hey, what's going on with this Rittenhouse thing? I spent 10 minutes looking through videos that weren't ratioed before I could find one that fucking gave me like a little 10-minute, kind of background on it. And it was, shockingly enough, from NBC News, the first one that wasn't ratioed. So then I watched it and it was pretty fair, and it was a good this was made like a year ago. But it's just like, why do I have to dig through mainstream media videos, virtually all of them, to find the truth? I shouldn't have to work for the truth. Your job is to report the truth. But yet, me as a viewer, I have to work to find the truth. That's how dangerous this situation is right now. It's
Dude,
disgusting.
the National Defense Authorization Act in 2013 introduced the Smith-Month bill that they tried to sneak through in 2012 that didn't work, that basically allows media companies to lie to the American public. And they snuck it deep down into the, the freaking stacks of papers deep in this bill. And ever since that point, you could see the way the media, there's a huge uptick in the word racist, bigotry, all these different buzzwords in the media.
Black Lives Matter.
From the beginning of 2012. Yeah, exactly. All the way up until now. And it just gets worse and worse and worse. And they can legally lie to American citizens. It's crazy.
I gotta hop off, gentlemen.
Yeah. I know both you and Nick have to bounce. So,
thanks, everybody.
But thank you guys
thanks,
so
Robert.
much. So I appreciate both of you being here. Nick, if you need another signal boost, just let me know, buddy.
Will do.
I got your back versus Susan. Don't worry.
I actually do have to talk to you about something, but not on stream.
Oh,
okay. Absolutely.
There you go.
Absolutely. Make me
Very
sound more
interesting.
important than I am. I love when you do that.
Where do you, just curious, where do you accept service of process? That's all I'm asking.
No, Nick, I think we all can speak for each other. We're really fucking proud to see what you're doing, man. It's awesome and well deserved. And keep on rolling, man.
Yep.
Thanks,
it was
guys.
awesome having both of you here. Have a good one, buddy. I'll talk to you later.
Catch you soon. Peace.
So we knew we had both of them for limited time. Actually, Nick wasn't even scheduled to be here. Last second, he was talking to Ryan. He goes, "Yeah, I can hop on for a little while." So we knew we had Robert for a limited period of time, and then Nick, thankfully, jumped on too. So that was freaking great to have both of those guys here. And it's just it's a testament to both of them. I mean, Nick and Robert have both been streaming all day. I can't imagine how many thousands of things that's getting thrown their way while they're sitting here on a stream on a Geeks and Gamers channel. It's absolutely very thankful for them. It was awesome. So now we're still going to kind of talk about it from our perspectives. And again, I think that Ryan's been following this as closely as anyone that's not, legally tied to it or anything like that. But we got a couple things going on. I'll let Ryan continue to kind of
hold on. I want to say something real quick. I want to say something. You mentioned earlier about how, this is Geeks and Gamers and we're talking about this. It's like, I'm a geek and a gamer, man. I've been gaming for 30 years and I'm realizing I am still a gamer, but I need to be part of a conversation. So just because this is not traditional, what we as gamers would talk about, I feel like we're all gamers here now. I know Nick tries, and so does Ripa down there. He tries too. But being part of the conversation is pretty important. So it's like, it's allowing more people who might not necessarily realize how important it is to be a part of that conversation, So thank you guys for covering this shit.
Well, it's also that
I think it's important.
a filtered view. Like they're gonna get normies get their information. I know it sounds like crazy coming from us, like, oh wow, people actually watch or rather listen to what ABC, NBC, CNN. Yes, unfortunately, that is the case. We talk about this on the News and Why It Matters over at Blaze all the time, and how there are people that it's like it doesn't ever happen unless it is funneled through those institutions.
Yes.
It's
a good
sad.
point.
It's sad, and it's like we know how corrupt, crazy that they are, but the normie does not. So this is why I think it's especially important, and for folks that at least have the attention, maybe on something completely unrelated, to at least chime in on it, because if they listen to anybody else that's out there, the big control guys, they're getting it from one perspective, and often it's false. My man Thomas Massey brought up a great point when CNN, you guys go read this, was it yesterday? They had posted the fact that the judge, of course, dismissed the weapons charge. At no point in their article do they explain why.
Exactly.
Not
exactly.
At all. At no point in the article do they explain why. It's just
That
the
he
judge.
did. How dare he?
Yeah, basically that's the spin, and that's the rhetoric used on it. They don't explain why at all, but that's where a lot of folks get their information from. Even one of my close homies, like I had to check him on this subject matter, and because he was like he was just completely not in the know. And yeah, he's not as connected to this shit. I do this for it's my career, but I'm like, wait a minute, who told you that was what happened? I don't know who but I got to take a step back. Like, normies get their information from, unfortunately, the most unreliable people. And this is why I've spent the better part of these last couple of years really focusing and trying to communicate, weaning people off of what the controlled forms of media, the controlled forms of like entertainment, because that's where the vast majority of people get their information from, despite how false that it is. This is why there's a big time need. And hell, this case shows you that it's a big time need for a big cultural revolution in this regards to the people who are deemed as the legitimate, or who people see as the legitimate forms of information.
Absolutely. And that's what look, I was somebody who didn't want to bring my politics into anything with Geeks and Gamers until, again, it was weaponized. And I've talked about this many times. When I started seeing people weaponizing political opinions of people that owned companies or that were figureheads or whatever, like, I heard a rumor this person's a Trump supporter, don't support that company. So I was like, well, I'm not going to let anyone do that to me. So I'll just tell you I'm a Trump supporter. Let's go ahead and just put it out there. Let's just make it known. That way we don't have to weaponize that I am. Doesn't mean Geeks and Gamers as a company supports Trump, because Geeks Gamers has no opinion, but it means me as the creator of it and the leader of it absolutely supports him, and people on our team can think and support whoever they want and vote for whoever they want. I don't care about that. But by not talking about these things and being above it, and that's what's allowed them to incorporate all their bullshit into it, by taking the high road with these motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Like, they have taken their left-wing politics and pushed it into everything. And we're tired of it.
Literally everything. Like,
we are
make no
tired of
mistake, it's literally everything. Like, it's not, we're not saying that just to just kind of dramatize this or anything. No, they have their hands on everything. I have had the blessing of being in more basically in a short life, living multiple careers, and they got their hands on all of that shit. You know what I mean? And that's because they played the long game. We've talked about that people on the other side, they haven't done themselves a lot of justice by some of the dumb shit they say, and some of the policy, or rather lack thereof, that they sort of advocate in some respects. But the situation is what it is regardless. And yeah, you see it now, and people are now like, damn, I can't play a video game without getting away from this dumb shit. Yeah, it's everywhere. It's fucking everywhere.
You remember when
dude, Yuri Bezmenov was right. That's all
yeah,
I'm saying.
100%. Well, you remember this, like, and I know Rippy, you didn't really play Warzone that much, and I wasn't playing at the time, but when the whole BLM thing happened, you know, like it blew. They made you like they forced you to press like a button to like accept that Black Lives Matter and all this stuff. Like, and I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Like, are you kidding me? Because again, my whole thing is if you support that, then you should also have to support that they can put something in that makes you forces you to say, make America great again on a video game, which would be fucking retarded if they ever did that by my standard and by the normal standard. But the left would never admit but you know, supporting their political message on a video game is insane. It's insane, but that's where we are. This is important right here. Adam Krigler, play Mario Kart. Otherwise, he's no gamer.
You know, I did get it.
He chickened out every week. Every week, this dude's chickened out.
No, the reason why I haven't played yet is because I left the dock for the Switch.
That sounds like an excuse to me.
And I don't have it.
Sounds like an excuse to me.
Hey, I just want to let me just tell you, I got a buddy of mine text me right now, and he goes, "I can't believe I'm saying this. Am I crazy or am I finding the new Halo meh?" I'm not done. I'm not done. I'm not done. I can't believe I said that. It just sucks. Seriously, the music sucks. The announcer sucks. It's slow as fuck. Man, what the hell?
I mean, it's really nice that you're friends with retarded people. You know, everybody deserves friends. But no,
I told you guys earlier. I said, man, this game looks like shit.
That's the wrong position. He has the wrong. I'm not even going to say that I disagree with his opinion. No, he's wrong. He has the incorrect position.
All right.
This is the best, and this is as a guy that used to play fucking into the ground. No, this is one of the best Halo. This is a revival in a sense.
Are you guys wearing rose-colored glasses? Though?
No, it's fucking good. We got the gameplay. Ryan has the gameplay live.
I've got the game. I've got the game. I haven't played it yet, but I've seen some gameplay, and I'm like,
it's really good. It's really good.
All right,
really good. So,
I trusted you on Vanguard, and that's
I was right. I was right.
Yeah. Yo, Vanguard's fun. It's fast. I like the fast, vicious gameplay.
And again, as I told you, the Halo is a beta, so it's still a beta, so it's not even a final. It's not even a final game, but it's still. But even in that form, it's still fantastic.
Seems to be agreeing with me. Chat's like, yeah, it's meh.
Well, the chat's wrong too. That's fine. I mean, they can all say whatever they want to say, but that doesn't make them not incorrect. Hell, there's people that walk around thinking Miles Morales is a decent character. There's probably some of those guys in the chat as well. They're wrong. They're incorrect. That doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything.
Oh man, good stuff. But that's kind of we do kind of like to, you know, debate and fight and argue here on the main event because it's called Tuesday Night's Main Event. But
ladies and gentlemen,
yeah, that's good. We'll have to get that incorporated to the intro.
Yo, I'll give you some voiceovers.
I'm down with that. Go ahead,
there
Ryan.
Go. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what I was gonna say. I guess the last thing I was thinking of when you guys were talking about just the fucking mainstream media and how hypnotized I have everybody. Literally, there's people that are finding out today that Kyle Rittenhouse didn't shoot a bunch of black people.
What is with that too? It's crazy.
It's because there's been a narrative about racism. About somehow this is like Black Lives Matter.
Is bizarre thing. Like they're like.
No, I see people pivoting already though. They're like, well, it's because it's racist because they were there protesting, not rioting, protesting.
Process what would happen. Okay.
Right.
White guy shoots 3 white guys. And if he is somehow acquitted, or let's say he gets off, that's somehow proof of racism because he shot and killed other white guys. Someone explain how the fuck that makes any goddamn sense.
And why does it even fucking matter? It doesn't matter what their skin color is. If you try to kill somebody and they defend themselves by killing you, what is their skin color if anything?
I had a guy bring this up.
Hang on real quick. So this is Kim Iverson said, I'm so confused by this. Was anyone involved black? Because it was talking about employers consider giving your black
light-skinned
and then Ricada,
McKelvey.
yeah. Here's Ricardo's response. The alleged repeat felon that jump kicked Kyle Rittenhouse in the face is black.
Yeah, and that person was supposedly just identified today. That's that person who the prosecution knew about and didn't want to approach for trial because they couldn't give him immunity. He had a rap sheet a mile long, 2 decades worth of felonies and misdemeanors and shit.
But go ahead,
so
Rip.
that doesn't fit
I
the narrative.
You, so go ahead, Rip.
No, I mean, people are retarded. I just don't like none of this makes sense, but it doesn't. You know, I mean, when you're stupid, and you'll just gobble up anything it is that they tell you because look, they're operating on. I mean, they haven't got an update yet. So when
Ripa, are you gonna need a couple days off? Are you gonna be all right?
And first of all, let me address that real quick. I know people know me for going on my rant against light skinned folk. I don't know why the fuck it is that every time it's like it never fails. These people that have these weird, bizarre positions on race, and it's usually this woe is me shit. Light skinned motherfuckers. Like, go look at that tweet. Matter of fact, click on that guy. Bring that back up. Bring that tweet back up.
The Ricardo one?
The Kim Iverson one.
Kim Iverson. Look at the tweet he's responded to. And I want you to blow up that guy's picture. Blow his fucking picture up.
All right,
and watch me make this point.
All right, let's see here.
Every time. Every fucking time. It's weird, man. Click it and blow the shit up. First of all, he's with a white woman. It looks like number one, and his I don't know because he's so light. He might be a fucking quarter black at best. You know, like this is the motherfucker talking about. We need to have black people. They need to. I guess we're gonna be so traumatized at the event that a guy got off because he shot a bunch of other white guys, including a bunch of 3, including one that was a fucking pedophile. Like, why is this? I don't understand this. This is something I said this was a pandemic the other day, and I'm gonna have to look into this because I don't understand.
Victimhood is the pandemic. The addiction to being victim, the addiction to being able to blame others for anything.
Right, and that's true. But this guy would pass for white if I saw him 10 feet away from me. So I don't understand why it's these cats that back in the 30s in Chicago and shit would have been passing for white. Going out here screaming and it's so fucking loud. So fucking loud about
Zuby.
I don't get this shit, man.
That sounds like Zuby sounded just king of the black people. But yeah, Ripa's destroying this dude. And dude, I saw somebody responded to you on Twitter the other day.
It was the same guy. It was the same thing. It was a light skinned cat.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the same dude. Well,
no, it was the same guy. That's why I'm telling you, it's a bunch of them. It was another light skinned motherfucker saying the same shit to me. He called me something. I blew it. I was like, bro, I'm not. You can't. If you that light skin, you can't be talking to me in that tone about fucking race. I won't allow it. And this ain't me saying I got something against light skin cats. I'm just saying, like, I can't be confused for anything other than being a brother. It can't happen. I'm a dark skinned fucking black dude. I cannot listen to some other motherfucker who is, again, if he's 10 feet away, he's one of those guys where he gets closer. You like, is he black? Is he? What the fuck is this fucking guy? Because you don't fucking know. So, the people that are gonna have to experience this shit, of all the people that are gonna have to experience like this racism, you're gonna be the last motherfucker in line having to experience all of that because you fucking look like one of them.
So, Ripa, are you gonna need like 4 or 5 extra days off then?
I guess so. Maybe that's what he was alluding to. Maybe I'm gonna need a full week. And he only gets because he's a quarter. I guess he gets fucking. I don't know.
It's going to be really hard for you.
I just keep thinking about Talcum X. That's all I keep thinking about. So
he was full white. He was at least. He was full white.
He was white.
He's
he's whiter than Ryan. That's white. Okay, that's
a white man.
That is
a white man.
My dick's bigger too, so
but not sure how you know that, but okay.
He has me blocked on Twitter. So
you know the entire premise of all this back in August was because Jacob Blake got shot, right?
Right.
It turns out that was a rifle shooting. He was
justifiable,
and that's why I went away.
No, he had a knife, and he was going into his car to grab something we don't know. The cops didn't know at the time. He was fighting with them, and he already had it. He dropped his knife, picked it up, and they still didn't shoot him. And then he went to his car. It's way worse than him he had a knife. Shit, it's insane.
Man, that's why I went away. It was like that story with the chick running at the chick with the knife and she got shot.
Yeah, She was like real back about to stab her.
Yeah, like
that was the one that LeBron James tried to target that guy.
That he put that police officer's face all over the look. Yeah,
that man was a hero.
Anything, but holy shit, of all the things to get mad at, like that was like, come on, like.
Yeah, LeBron James tried to get a police officer killed after he took rightful action to save a young black girl.
Yeah, that's it. That's the world we live in right there. I got it, George. Holy shit, George! The man, $300. The question isn't innocent or guilty. It's not Kyle's trial. It's America's. The outcome will determine whether we're experiencing a nightmare or living the American dream, where all are free to defend their life with every ounce of their breath. Hail Geeks and Gamers for being the free voice for all. Thank you, George. And it's very well said. You are the man. Let me get my clapping noise, even though you probably hear it, because I'm not running through Streamlabs. But either way, there you go. George, you are the man. I appreciate you, buddy. George the Giant Slayer, his channel, he's doing a great job. High quality content, much better than anything me and Ryan produce, for sure. But yeah, and that is very well said, though. That is very well said, though. I mean, because we are people, just normal people. All see what's going on. You know what I mean? Like normal people are that you have to see. All you have to do is watch the fucking video of what happened. All you have to do is watch it, and then and then eliminate.
And it's obvious.
Eliminate the fact that we've got a pedo and another criminal. Eliminate
we have a convicted child rapist. 5 different kids, child rapist in Rosenbaum. You've got a domestic abuser who threatened his grandmother and brother in what's his other fucking name? I don't even remember at this point. Anthony Huber. And then you got Gage Grosskreutz, who again got a illegal weapons charge because he was drunk and operating a firearm. Did not have a permit to have a concealed weapon.
Lied about it.
Lied about it several times. And then tried to put a gun to Kyle Rittenhouse's head. These are the people we're talking about.
And still people I still people seeing on the internet freaking out about it. There's all these Twitter battles going on about like let me give you an example. There's this uncovering the truth. I just found this and I'll just read it to you. We don't have to go through it. It said if Rittenhouse is acquitted in Kenosha, then it sends a loud, in all caps, message to future vigilantes. You can show up with a loaded gun to a protest, and if a protester attempts to disarm you, you have the right to kill them. Killing unarmed protesters is the very definition of fascism. And people are spreading...
No, it's not, crackhead.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Rosenbaum was trying to arm himself. He tried to grab the guy. He even said that if I find you alone, I'm going to kill you. If they even found out Huber was actually trying to... They have a picture of him trying to grab the gun from him. Why are you doing... By the way, he was trying to beat him with a skateboard just seconds before that.
I love the process. So the prosecution had like the worst recross ever on what's the guy from the Daily Caller, the reporter who was there,
Drew Hernandez. Oh no, I'm sorry,
Richie McGinnis.
Okay,
Richie McGinnis.
Right.
Because he was right there in front of the whole thing, and the defense is like, I mean, you saw Joseph Rosenbaum, lunging, trying to grab the defendant, trying to attack the defendant, all that stuff. And on the recross, the prosecutor's like, well, I mean, you can't really know what was going on in Joseph Rosenbaum's head. And this is the prosecution's own witness. And he's like, well, he yelled, fuck you, and grabbed his gun. So I think that was pretty clear.
Yeah. There were so many of those moments too, where like, damn, the prosecution shouldn't have even asked that. Why did they even ask that? What are they doing? Did you point your gun at Kyle's head before he shot you? Yes, that's
correct. Yeah.
And they put his head in his hands, like, ooh.
And that's the story of how a bicep became a unicep.
Well,
that's
I know,
what happened with Grosskreutz.
And I think Barnes mentioned it earlier on Ricado's stream, but I know Ryan's mentioned it about how meme culture has kind of dominated this trial, and it's been great. And I personally think that this is definitely one of the best memes to come from it, and it's right here. That is fantastic. That is awesome right there, dude.
That's pretty good.
That is legendary right there. And so if Kyle gets acquitted, I'm gonna post just a picture of him and the judge playing like that. I'm gonna say, we want Kyle to play some Call of Duty with us. You think Switch? You think Switch like that?
Dude, that'd be awesome. And I will also say this picture before it's edited with the controllers. that tells you how much of a threat anybody thinks Kyle Rittenhouse is.
Yes.
The fact that you have a guy who's accused of murder, leaning over the shoulder of an elderly judge, no bailiff right there, obviously in the room, of course, but no handcuffs, no nothing, because nobody, not the prosecution, nobody actually believes that Kyle Rittenhouse is a threat to anyone. That tells you what a sham this entire thing is.
True.
Yeah. It's
political.
true. It's political propaganda. And when you start seeing things again, so it's like what we've been doing. When we start seeing if their personal politics is worth pushing into video games and movies and television, do you think that's where they're going to stop?
Nope.
Of course not. Of course not. It's all meant to get the foot in the door. You know what I mean? This is part of a bigger thing going on. So if you don't think that this is a political trial, you are completely blue pilled. You know what I mean? Like you're just not going to be able to see what's going on. And it's very, very dangerous. No one has to think like I think from a political standpoint. No one has to agree with me. Yeah.
Let me ask you though. So to the people that are blue pilled, right? To these people that are just fully indoctrinated, is there any going back, and if so, I don't know if so, or if not, like what is the next step? What do we do now when we know how integrated these people are in every facet of everything? They're in the movies, they're in the video games, they're in the government, they're in the schools. I mean, every facet of our civilization, it seems that they're just like they've got their puppet strings going, But what's the answer? What do you guys think is the next step forward?
The answer is you focus on culture and not politics. I've been making this fucking case for the last goddamn decade. Now people are starting to fucking wake up to what the actual solution is. It's not
drive it home.
This is not a political battle. I know people look at it like that, but what I mean by that is operating like strictly within what the government does and what it is that they say. This is where leftists, and this is important for people that have read, for example, like Marx or Engels, or even fucking like more other communist revolutionaries, and how they look to play the long game. See, conservatives and libertarians, they too smart for their own damn good. So smart that they're stupid, because they look at it like, okay, we have the best ideas on our side, so we're gonna win. It's not how this shit works. It's not how it's ever fucking worked. If you want to win, you gotta get in the trenches, and the trenches ain't fucking running for fucking office or some shit like that. No. The trenches is where we're at right now, and that's making some sort of trying to make some sort of impact in terms of influence right here. Culturally, every individual here relates in some way, shape, form, capacity, and you belong to a subculture. Doesn't matter what it is. Maybe we're gaming. It doesn't matter. I don't know. Everybody has their own thing. For people that always ask me, hey, how do I try to unplug folk from the matrix? Well, you use whatever fucking subculture that you belong in as your vehicle. That's how you win. That's how you win. For people that have asked me many times, hey, you should go run for office. Fuck, why would the fuck would I do that? Right? Because at that point, I've completely neutered myself, and I'm going to waste a boatload of money for doing fucking what? When I have influenced more people writing a goddamn song than I ever have or ever will in terms of running for fucking office or something like that. Breitbart even conceded this. It's politics, downstream is culture. So what a lot of people who are like-minded in terms of, let's say, people that value liberty, they have to realize that their enemies do not play, number one, by the same rules, but they also don't value what it is that they value in terms of importance. And that's having some sense of ethics, some sense of moral, some sense of principle. They don't care about that. It'll waver. They're more interested in winning and suppressing their political enemies. So in order to combat that, you got to get in the trenches of culture. So you look at, damn, they control everything. They control your schools. They control your beloved government. They control your, all your culture. We're seeing these guys go franchise to franchise, running it into the ground. That's because they played the long game. And they realized that we didn't have to have the battle on the best ideas on our side. We got every fucking actor, actress, musician, big name, in really any entity in our pocket. So any event that we want to roll some shit out, we just call the troops and we make it happen because we've infiltrated fucking everything. So my argument, if there is to be a political battle to fight, you don't fight it on the means of trying to gain control of that power. You fight it to eliminate it. So this is why I say decentralization is going to be our best way out of that if there is to be a political strategy. It's not playing fucking musical chairs and trying to get the right people in office. No. It's to rid the fucking assholes of their power. A lot of these milquetoast conservatives that I argue with day to day, they're more interested in trying to get Nancy Pelosi's seat, replaced. So I'm interested in pulling the fucking rug from under Nancy Pelosi so her bitch ass ain't even got a job. You know what I mean? So you look at decentralization as a political motive, but either way, you don't get the political change unless you change the culture first. And that's what a lot of people have to come around to realizing. Your enemy does not care that you're consistent. Your enemy doesn't care that you're morally sound, that you value private property rights. They don't give a shit about that. So having the ideas on your side simply isn't good enough. And a lot of people have finally realized that shit.
Well, I feel like it's a combination, though. You do need those people to be fighting for Nancy Pelosi's seat. You do need the people that want to do that side of the battle.
I disagree. I would disagree with you, Adam, on that wholeheartedly. Reason being is because that does nothing but protect the status quo. That's what we've gotten for the last.
But not if both things are happening, though.
But no, it's been happening. It's been happening for 100 years. It's been happening for 100 years. The Republican Party, for example, which is the second dominating party, has gotten you what? You even had a staunch.
I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about Republicans being the answer.
No. I'm saying that fight for the political, the example that I'm about to use, the fight for like people that are fighting the political battle lose because the other side hasn't been done that we're referring to. His name is Ron Paul. You had him twice. You had him fucking twice, and you chose that. You got Mitt Romney, who everybody hates now, and you got John McCain, who everybody fucking hates right now. But there's a reason why that in itself, he was more impactful culturally in the Ron Paul revolution. Big shout out to everybody that from that back in 2008 and 2012, which birthed the whole fucking generation of people that valued liberty. That happened because he was connecting with his audience, but not because he did something per se politically. But you see what happened to him is what happened when you engage in that. But that's because so many people are fighting that battle over there to sit up there and just gain control of the power. To me, that does nothing but like exacerbate the actual issue because it protects the status quo. I say all that all the time about, for example, with conservatives that are involved in politics. I say if you don't advocate, for example, decentralization right now as a primary focus, you're doing nothing but protecting the status quo of the absolute criminals, the absolute worst of the fucking worst, because that power in itself is the core issue. That's what we're arguing. And I guess that's what we have to communicate, or at least I, like the person that values liberty, to people a lot better and more efficiently to get them to understand your issue is not with, let's say, simply that other person that you hate, being like running for office. No, it's the fact that you fear when that person gets fucking control, what they might do with the power. When it's your guy, you ain't got no fucking problem. But when it's the other guy, and I look at that and I say, well, that right there is the issue. How do we rid the world of exactly that? So while I can agree that we're going to be better off with people that are, let's say, in that sphere, like I'm going to always prefer Rand Paul over John McCain, or Rand Paul over that eye patch wearing dickhead Dan Crenshaw. I'm going to always prefer that, but in the same respects, he can't win unless people are in the trenches culturally actually fighting that battle. And this is why it's never trivial. So when Jeremy almost undermines his importance by thinking like, yeah, I don't want to stay in. I would argue you are going to be Geeks and Gamers is going to be way more effective in planting a seed of liberty than any of those fucking boomacons that are sitting there in office. And that's the reality of the situation. That's how this meme culture is the way that it is. The battle's got to be fought culturally. It's not a political battle. It's a
okay.
See,
You inadvertently agreed with me there. You inadvertently agreed by saying who was running? It was Rand Paul. What was he doing? He was running for office, trying to.
I was referring to Ron Paul. Ron Paul.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Ron
yeah.
Paul. Right. Back in that era, right before
Yeah.
Rand, of course. But that's what I'm talking about. I'm with you. I think what you're saying is the more important battle that we need to do to win the war of, to have freedom, I guess, right? I mean, it's really like the core of it all. I agree. I know that the culture, everything stems down from culture, all the politics and all that. But without the culture, we can't change the politics. So of course that's going to take precedence. Yeah. I agree with that. I was saying we still need to have some people like Ron Paul. We need other Ron Pauls to stand up and energize their base and actually be there for them. That's why you're all about Ron Paul. I mean, but he was still a politician trying to make change for people like you.
And he didn't win. And he made more change not winning. That's what I'm saying, though. But that's why
we need more people like that doing exactly that, influencing culture.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Running for office.
And I would agree with that. But my thing
that's what I was trying to say.
Right. And I don't. The only thing that I would. It's not a disagreement necessarily with you. It's more of the emphasis of the importance. When I look at like culture and I look at the political battle, I'm saying like those are miles like way different. Like I'm not even saying that they're remotely like equal in terms of these folks. But the thing is that the vast majority, and this is what people realize with the COVID stuff, this is what people realize with the $1 trillion stimulus, like the infrastructure bill that, of course, Joe Biden just signed. The vast majority of the people that are in that political realm, including the ones that pay lip service to liberty, have no fucking desire to rid themselves of basically being they're going to have to be out of a job if they actually value liberty. Almost none of those guys consistently take those positions. Like there's like Massey, you know what I mean? That's about it. That's in the House. And then, you have maybe Rand on the other side, but those fucking other guys pay lip service. Dan Crenshaw does that the best. Well, he'll have some cool whip or some cool take where he's done derailed some leftist talking point. And then you go look at his voting record. He does, these guys go support the same fucking shit time and time again because they don't actually value liberty. Liberty would require a lot of those people that are in Congress, a lot of people that work with them, be it bureaucrats or these unelected assholes, it would allow them, they would have to be out of a job. And a lot of folks ain't about that. You're seeing it, what happened with the COVIDs and all these people in these pharmaceutical companies that they're basically shilling for, that all these guys got stock in. Like, they're not willing to rid themselves of any power. And this is why I'm so aggressively against them, because those guys are in the way. I won't even call you a fucking ally if we're sitting here talking about decentralization and you think that, we just need my guys in power. And if we control the power, it'll be all good. Fuck that. No, we need to rid the power. And if you're not talking about that, you're not doing anything necessarily conducive for liberty. And unfortunately, that represents a lot of people that are not just within the government, but a lot of people that are trying to strive and achieve it as a means for, or rather as a vehicle, I guess, for bringing about a better world. Their idea of a better world is them having the control and still keeping their thumb certainly on you, which is why they all come together. Every National Defense Authorization Act, every fiscal year they vote for it. All of those crackheads continue to vote yes on that because they in on it, and that's the pill that we got to try to drop with these guys to realize that the guy that they like is like.
I could talk to you about this for a long time. Come on my show and let's rap about it more, man. I know that these guys clearly want to move on. Let's
oh no, I don't.
I just want to actually
questions
talk
for Ripper
about
right
it too,
now. So
no one wants to hear you guys talk.
This is like the most important thing. Like, if we're talking about winning, that's what we got to discuss. We can bitch and moan all day long about how much it sucks, but if we're not talking about how we get to the next step, then all this banter is useless. This is the most important part of the conversation.
That's why I asked earlier.
I want to say this. Daniel says, Eric is spot on. This is why I have spent thousands supporting Gary and the rest of you guys. I've done the political volunteering thing door to door, and it's nothing compared to supporting cultural warriors like Geeks and Gamers. Our stories matter. Our hearts matter.
100%.
Fuck yeah, Daniel.
Don't let anybody
Thank you.
tell you otherwise.
And ericdjuly.com, correct?
Yes, that's where I'm at.
ericdjuly.com. That has just been launched today. And then in the middle of them having a very good discussion back and forth what grown men actually do without crying like bitches, because that happens outside of Twitter. Carnal says $20 says, hail Geeks and Gamers and tryhards. Am I the only one waiting for a Rippa Adam collab? No doubt Eric and Adam are mega talented in everything they do, from commentary to gaming to their music writing. We need bangarang track from these two. So there you go right there. Yeah. And I know you guys are sending more, and I will get to them. I got a question for
Hold on, real quick. Let me address it because I don't want people to get it twisted. I don't need, first of all, Razor Fist. Everybody knows the way. Maybe this guy in the chat didn't know that me and Razor Fist are friends. I'm not talking about advocating for the Libertarian Party. And this is why, again, I got to peel people on their retardism, or rather retardation, because they conflate what it is that I advocate with a libertarian fucking party or some dumb shit like that. That's not what it is that I'm referring to as an alternative. And neither have I ever referred to that as some sort of alternative. I'm not a member of fucking I don't even fucking engage. I told y'all the other day, like, I'd rather me shitting in the voter booth is far more conducive for liberty than fucking me punching a ticket for Libertarian Party member of Republican or fucking really any of those guys.
Yeah, because
that's not what we're talking about.
Like, culture is more important, because what you're talking about, what both of you guys are talking about, is the Overton window in society right now. And that is shifted because of culture, which is shifted because of entertainment. Because all those things inevitably are downstream from entertainment.
100%.
And that's why these leftists took control of film. They took control of Hollywood. They took control of comic books, video games, everything, so that through entertainment, they could change culture, so they could change the political landscape. So that's why these milquetoast Republicans, they're trying to get the power. And the only way they can do that is by falling within this shifted Overton window. That's why it's a problem. And that's why until you do change culture, you're only going to have a little outlier in like Rand Paul in the Senate. Like nobody else can have that kind of take where they live and get elected. That's the bottom line. So you need to change that culture before you can change that shit.
That's true. And it's I love the discussion between Adam and Ripa. And so I want to bring this point up because I think it applies to the conversation. So like one reason I really respect Eric and listen to everything he has to say in terms of taking it all in consideration is because, Ripa knows I'm a Trump supporter, a very vocal Trump supporter, and at no point has he ever publicly or privately held that against me. And people that don't like Trump, they can't function with a person that likes Trump. You know what I mean? Like they just so my question for Ripa isn't, because for me, I don't consider now. I registered as a Republican in 2016 so I could vote down ticket just to support Trump. I was all in on Trump. So I was like, I'll vote R down ballot. You know what I mean? Because that was the first time I ever voted in my life too, by the way, was 2016. Now I supported, when I say supported, meaning just publicly, Obama, because I hated the George Bush administration for what they were doing. So I was really like anti-Republican at that point in time. So again, that's just to say, I don't have a party that I'm affiliated with. I think politicians are generally all pieces of shit. But with Trump, I think Trump was and is that guy that you're saying that that change that we need. Now, I'm not talking about, there's plenty of criticisms we can throw to the Trump administration and his handling of social media and some other things that he could have done. He signal boosted Twitter, made them far more valuable than they should have been, and then they cut his legs out from up under him. But like my question for you is, on the Trump standpoint, what is it about him? Is it just, do you view him as another politician?
No, it's actually no. My issue, like I obviously got a kick out of the Trump phenomena because of the way that, definitely with me and what I was doing during that time, 2015, and the band was taking off and all of that. So I'm sitting here surrounded by a bunch of Trump hating leftists who just fucking were deranged. And the fact that they were getting pissed off was always comical to me. But the Trump phenomena for me, I have nothing against the idea of what people deem as, I guess, this populism, you know what I mean, which is what they like to deem what that kind of phenomena actually was. My issue with him was strictly issues. Like, I heard him talk the best game, you know, even about stuff that I disagree with, that I agree with, and he didn't do shit. All these $1 trillion packages that we sit and bitch and moan about, that motherfucker signed them. You look at the last year. Last year, with that last one, that was that, I think that was the $2 trillion stimulus package that people were like, you know, he had only did this because he thought that. Even me and Razor Fist, we had an argument. I won the bet, by the way, Razor Fist, if you're watching us. I won the bet because you thought that he was just kind of basically doing that because they were going to pull the pork out that bill. That didn't pull shit. They didn't pull the damn thing out of it. And I knew that was going to happen because I felt like he was in on it. But my thing is that's where we differ politically, is really on the economics of it all. I think that, to me, is a big portion of it for me, and where he loses me, because he was fucking terrible on spending. Even a lot of conservatives at the Blaze had to concede that, like, he was goddamn awful there. But he riled the right people up. So this is why I don't share my legitimate gripe with Trump is his actual issues. You know, I've done a million videos certainly about that, when I've griped about him and some of the things that he's done. I don't bitch and moan about him like leftists do, which is just because he exists. Right. You know what I mean? That's why they're upset. And I even catch myself correcting them, because it's like, Donald Trump to me was a layup, right? It's like, this loudmouth motherfucker, he told you exactly where he was at. So he was so easy to criticize. But the left would look at that and they would like criticize him on a lie or something like just completely egregious. And I'm like, dude, this is the easiest thing, but they're programmed. So I liked that out of the Trump phenomena, was that he riled up the right people. He got people to realize that the media, for example, were the enemies of like the corporate media in general, were the enemies of the people. And that's by whether it was directly or indirectly, that's neither here nor there. That's not even important. It's that his existence made that happen. And there was a cultural shift there in terms of how people looked at and deem as you know, legitimate forms of media. That was a beautiful thing. So my issues with him was just on policy. It was never about all the other dumb shell, mean tweets and all this other stupid. I didn't care about any of that. It was all about policies, reckless spending, that dumbass bump stock ban, which that was more than what it actually was. One of the most egregious things that he did during his term, where he refers to the national. I would encourage people to read that. I'm not going to bore you to death, but he was referring back to the National Firearms Act, one of the most criminal acts there is, and basically is saying, I wouldn't even say suggesting, he's saying that if you get any attachment that for like the AR that I'm looking at, and if they want to deem that shit as a machine gun, they get to fucking do it. And because of that, they get to turn people into felons overnight, and essentially make it illegal for them to own it. I thought that was absolutely terrible on that. But that was what I criticized him. My beef with him wasn't who he riled up, because I appreciated that.
I hear you on that. Well, I mean, obviously, I had, you know, I have my criticisms of him, and I've shared some of those criticisms over the last 4 years. But I would say, at least from my perspective, and look, I know that a lot of people dismiss Trump as being a really, you know, intelligent, manipulative person, but he is, and I don't mean that in a bad way. You don't become a billionaire to the level he was. You don't make the business decisions this man has made over the course of his lifetime. You don't get to, you know, rub shoulders with these crooked politicians for all these years and learn their secrets without being very, very conniving. And I think that, again, the guy was probably trying to play some political games with politics. You can't just go in there and go guns blazing once he won. Like, I think that he had to do some give and take, because he understands that he's already taken on 3 political families, the Obamas, the Bushes, and the Clintons. He took all of them on. He took the mainstream media on, and he won. He won against all odds. So once you get in there, you got to play ball a little bit. I think he underestimated a lot of things, though, and that's why ultimately he didn't get his second term. I think he underestimated a lot of stuff. But
he surrounded himself with all the same retards that he bitched about. That's one of the big problems. He surrounded himself with
at
people.
what point do we concede that he was in on it if that's the case? Like, serious, and I'm not saying that's a genuine question. That's a genuine question, not just for that, not necessarily for Jeremy, for the audience. Like, we know that a lot of people have conceded that. At what point do we say he was in on it if he surrounded himself with a bunch of dickheads like that? I'm just that's a genuine question. I don't know the answer to that. I'm just asking that as a genuine question.
I don't know if we can. I mean, again, it's tough because, again, you're talking about the president of the United States of America. You can't just bring completely new blood into this 100%. You're going to have to surround yourself with some career politicians in order to continue to keep the machine turning while you're changing the machine. I genuinely believe that he was in that situation. You can't just bring nothing, but you can't wipe out an entire political establishment and bring new politicians in and expect to just keep everything working perfectly. In the end of the day, this man gave us an unbelievable economy, historic world peace deals. You know, everything was working very well in this country. Those are the facts. Like, you can criticize his shortcomings, but the country was in fantastic shape. We all had more money in our pockets. The economy was booming. We didn't go into any wars. Like, the man did an incredible job in running this country, all things considered. So I don't know where the real beef is to say he was in on it when he literally was changing things.
Well, Ripper's right to the extent, though, that while the stock market was booming.
I want to ask a genuine question, like a direct one, and I'm being serious. I know we talk about like what he did, and we look at it like. But I'm asking you, particularly regarding the economy, what direct thing are we talking about that Trump specifically did? Because we know we have to concede that Trump was terrible on spending. All of those disastrous spending bills, he signed them. They were all terrible. Every last one of them were terrible. He signed them. So with that being said, what specifically are we? I get it. Now, I would disagree with which is his main job per se, and that is what was happening in his war efforts. Despite, I think a lot of that is even overstated. Definitely when we come to the close of, let's say, this, the latter half of this war in Afghanistan, I get all that. Like, and I'm for all that as a certain libertarian. But when we talk about that in vagueness and say, well, he specifically did something, I look at what, and this isn't a knock on Trump per se. I'm looking at it from the system itself. Like, what are we valuing per se that he did for us when what he directly controlled, aside from the foreign policy, which that's to your credit.
He legalized hemp. He said "fuck you" to the big pharma and said, "If you're gonna
he didn't. He did not do that in 2020. No, he didn't.
He did.
Adam Crickler.
Let me at least.
That's fake news. Finish.
He did an executive order saying if you're gonna charge people for insulin that they could go over to Mexico and get, you have to charge them the same price.
Okay,
that was an executive order. Day one, Biden revoked that. What? Go ahead. What? Am I not right there?
Operation Warp Speed.
Bingo. That Operation Warp Speed.
I don't worship the man. I don't say I worship everything he did, but
that's what I'm saying.
A couple
Operation
things
Warp Speed was the complete opposite of what you just said regarding him working with pharmaceuticals.
100% agree.
So it's a wash. At best, it's a wash. I would actually argue it's worse because that set up the scene for what we have right now. That was Operation Warp Speed. And this isn't me. Again, this is something that we can look at and we can directly point to say that if there is to be a shortcoming, it was that keeping Fauci around. We talk about
Trump.
There's things about COVID that
fucking snake garden.
That's where I look at it.
Was a snake, and he's like, "Can I trust you?" And they go, "Yeah, get bit." Can I trust you?
It was gonna there's no way that you could expect him to just wipe the slate clean day one and just not have non-politicians.
But I get what it is you're saying. I don't get that though. Like, I think that's us.
I don't think we can. Again, that's why I preface it by saying we're talking about the president of the United States of America. We can't get what he was walking into, but what we can look to is you talk about the economy or now again, I'm not talking. Now we know Trump likes to talk Trump up. We know that. Okay, I'm not talking about Trump's touting himself on things, but the unemployment numbers were historically low across the board in a lot of different ways. Those are facts.
Energy independent for the first time in decades.
Absolutely. Now, gas prices, something I'm very pissed off about right now. You know, we saw what gas prices went through with Bush. They were insane. I can't remember what the Obama situation where Trump had lower gas prices than any president since probably Clinton, probably.
And a lot of things, listen, the Paris Climate Accords, things like that, like pulling out of that, that's great. Energy independence, like Adam said, those things are great. He did a lot of things like the economy was booming. Yes. He incentivized a lot of businesses to come back to America.
Yes.
That was great.
Yes.
But at the same time, it's awesome for the economy. It's awesome for the stock market's great. But the spending that we had, it wasn't curbed from Obama. It was actually more than we saw at times under the Obama administration, which has, to be fair, set the stage for some of the inflation we're currently seeing now.
True.
There's no way you can get around that. And I know what you're saying, Jeremy. How can you go in there and wipe the slate clean? I don't know if it's realistic. However, I do know
I
know that the man ran. The three biggest things I remember from this from the Trump campaign: drain the swamp, lock her up, build the wall.
I understand that, but again, you got to understand though.
Built half a wall.
Okay, look, Trump. I don't care what people say. Donald Trump is a very intelligent person. Okay. Now you can question him and maybe his older age about how sharp he is. Go back and listen to this dude when he was in his 30s and 40s. This dude was sharp as a fucking knife. Okay. We're talking about a very, very smart guy. Okay. Now, Donald Trump is a smart person who has elevated himself and his brand off of being a showman. Okay. Now let's look at in my lifetime. Bill Clinton won the presidency. Do you know why? It wasn't because he was a great governor. It wasn't for his policies. It's because he went on Arsenio Hall and played a fucking saxophone wearing sunglasses. And he
said, "Make America great again."
and then
joke.
You
92. He did.
Did he really? That's awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Then you had George W. Bush, who got elected. Why? Because he was a terrible owner of the Texas Rangers, or because he, didn't do anything in the National Guard, or because he was the type of guy you could have a beer with. That's why, not because of policy. Barack Obama, a one-term, a community organizer and a one-term senator who became a fucking rock star because of his policy? No, because he was a fantastic scripted speaker. He had the right name and he had the right race for the media to blow up. That's who's successful in politics. Now, I've said this before. We live in a world where Donald Trump has a better chance to win the presidency of the United States of America than he would to be cast as Batman. Because we have a higher standard of who plays Batman than we do that runs this country. So if Donald Trump, prior to 2016, a man who has been in movies, a man who has been on TV shows, a man who has dominated reality TV, in 2015, as Donald Trump was announced as the next Batman, the internet would reject it overwhelmingly, and it would never happen because we have a higher standard of who plays Batman than who runs this country. So Donald Trump played into the showmanship of what it takes to be successful in the political world. So all of these things he said, the lock her ups and all, of course he was never going to lock Hillary up. Of course he wasn't. But he did follow through on a lot of his campaign policies. So that would be my argument to that. Of course there was some showmanship to it. There has to be to win that game. There has to be.
Yeah, but you can't expect people to not be upset if he's telling them he's going to. But that's what I'm saying. Like that's there was a lot of people who once he did surround himself with a lot of those same career politicians after ringing the bell of drain the swamp for 6 months to a year that were really disappointed by that. And then look at that and see that led to some of the problems in the presidency. You know what I mean?
I do see what all the people saying they want to see Trump play Two-Face. They want to see Trump play. Like I open up Pandora's box there, but that would be my argument. But ultimately, the reason, and it's not just Ripa, but like the reason I really do respect and listen to Ripa is because this guy clearly has strong opinions, and he's very intelligent. He's very well connected, and I respect everything this dude says. But the fact that we disagree on that, but he's never held that against me. Never even, not in private. He's like, "Hey, I got to talk to you, man," because he's confident who he is. And by him not being so butthurt over the fact that I have a strong political opinion disagrees with really makes me want to listen to him more. And it really makes me appreciate what he's saying more. And I guess that's the whole point behind what I wanted to say about, I like the different, the back and forth between him and Adam, you know, and Ripa knows his stuff, man. And I think that that's how you get people to listen to you, is when you can see someone that disagrees with you, but you don't go after him just on that alone.
Oh no, I'm going after him.
I'm
going after him in Halo later.
You don't want that.
I used to have so much respect for Rip until I found out he takes his Switch on vacations.
No, he borrowed it,
man.
He borrowed it.
It was my wife's Switch. It was not my Switch.
Is that better or worse?
He playing that on her, man.
Just say it.
That was hers. That was hers.
I think everybody really wants to know what does Krista have to say about all this. So,
beep.
I saw her say in the chat. She said she wants to see Donald Trump added to Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
But that's good,
That'd be
shit,
epic.
man. But this is we need people that have strong opinions to share those opinions, open up the dialogue, have discussions, and understand where each other's coming from. Because if I hear, someone that I respect, even though we disagree, hearing their take on it, it gives me more information. And information is power. It 100% is. Information is power. The more information you have, the more powerful you can become. And it is very important to get that. So I really do.
I want to keep talking to Eric. I want to hear more about this shit. Like, how do we shrink government? You know, like how do we do that?
That's a teaser for the next Krigler show right there. So
I gotta get
that's Savannah on today. That's one of my millions. One of my I'm trying to convert her to a complete anarchist. But love Savannah to death. Big shout out.
Savannah's great, yo. She's great.
And I love what you're doing, Adam and Eric, and everything we got going on at Geeks and Gamers. And these guys are obviously just as connected as anyone. And I want to, whatever we can do to help. And obviously they're going to help us. And we love what this Tuesday show is becoming. It's really starting to gain some real traction. This is a record night for us. And that's obviously we picked up off the Kyle Rittenhouse wave. And then we had Ricada and Barnes on, which helped, but we've maintained most of you since that. Now I know it's getting late. It's 11 o'clock Central, 12 Eastern. We have considered bumping the time up a little bit. At least I don't know, I have to talk to everybody and kind of see how the schedules work. But look at Star Wars Theory in the house. What's up, Star Wars Theory?
Yeah, he's Canadian $10 says, "Sup, shorty, looking fly."
I'm doing a Star Wars deep dive soon.
And then he said he was talking to me. So, what's up, Theory?
Good to see Star Wars Theory. Star Wars Theory, we got to get you on Vanguard, man. We played till 6 a.m. the other night. It was great, man. So it's good stuff. But we are going to be playing Halo tonight. So for those of you that are still here, we're going to be playing Halo tonight on Twitch. So you got Geeks and Gamers Twitch.
Bringing out the Pro Control too, baby.
Oh, shit. We got, it's the Elite, right? Is that the Elite?
Yeah, the Elite joint.
Okay, yeah. So Geeks and Gamers Twitch. Young Rip, are you streaming it tonight?
I'm going to stream it.
Okay, so Young Rip is Twitch. At what is yours? Commodore Krigler? Is that your Twitch, Adam?
Yeah, Commodore Krigler.
Yeah, Ryan's on Twitch as well. D-Day Cobra on Twitch. So all of us have Twitch channels. Krista's going to be streaming Breath of the Wild tonight. And trust me, you're going to get a different version of a stream from her than you would from any of us, because we'll all just think, fuck you, motherfucker, goddamn piece of shit. Fuck. Oh, I love this game, man. So fuck you. Chris is like, hi, I like chicken nuggets and stuffed animals. And that's what Krista's stream will be right there. So
if you want to see Rip as a fairy godmother, go to Krista's.
Yeah.
You gotta see it. You gotta see it. It's so good.
Here's for making my night with that back and forth. Thank you. I appreciate that.
We do that every show. We have to. Like sometimes it's about.
It's always between Rippa and someone else.
Yeah. No, Ryan and Jeremy.
Jeremy.
Ryan and Jeremy. It's everybody.
About the words overrated and underrated.
Jeremy and we all get in on. That's the point.
All right.
That's the point.
That's what the main event's like, and we don't plan it out. I mean, that first episode that Adam was on, because that was our first official Tuesday night's main event.
And then we're here with that Resident Evil.
Yeah, so we had the
and I
Resident
think
Evil
that
shit.
same show, Ryan and Jeremy went at it on something else. It was like,
The best part was the next day for Canon's sake, Rippa's entire stream or chat was arguing the Resident Evil stuff.
Yeah.
There was all this back and forth. I was like, fuck yeah, man. That's what I'm talking about.
That's what it's about.
So,
yeah, that lets you know that it has some impact and people are talking about it going into the next day, man. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm going to be working with oh, by the way, Mr. Grant Gregory, I think the opening missed where he put like why he missed last week's intro. So I'll play that again at the end of the stream. But him and Ivan, I'm working on getting them to do some more stuff with like the intro and the outro. So that's going to be pretty damn cool. I'm looking forward to that. So we're going to try to run through some of these super chats. So again, thank you guys so much for all of the support. Greatly appreciate it. We got George on the Streamlabs side for $100. Says, love what you do, my brother. Always will support you. You have an amazing, talented team of diehard defenders of truth, justice, and the American way. All hail, geeks and gamers. Thank you, George. Appreciate you.
Thanks, George.
That's awesome. Love George. And check out George the Giant Slayer over on YouTube. Mods, drop that link if you can. Enoch Maman, two $25 Streamlabs donations. Why light-skinned black leftists bitch about racism isn't that hard to figure out. It's the same reason the cisgendered leftists put pronouns in their Twitter bio. These are losers who've never faced any challenges or accomplished anything in their lives, so they hijack movements to make it about them. They need to be victims in order to have meaning in their lives. The trophy generation bullshit. So yeah, it is a trophy generation bullshit. I mean, look, you're talking to someone who got criticized for giving Black Panther an 8 out of 10. Yeah, I'm a racist. I'm a racist for that. That's what I've been called. I was called a Klan member.
11 out of 10.
Yeah, I was called when I first did the review. Someone emailed me and said I was a Klan member because I disrespected Black Panther, and it was an in detailed email. And I'm like, and again at that time, I've said this on live stream. At that time, I wasn't like desensitized to being criticized. At that time, the channel was still relatively small. You know what I mean? So I didn't really have a lot of criticism out there. So when that happened, I'm like, oh my God, what? And so so this week I got to signal boost my Black Panther review, and now all these people that hate me are having to actually show my positive Black Panther review while also saying that I get intimidated when black people are in movies.
See, personally, I think you're much more likely to be a Klan member if you gave Black Panther above a 6. Because if you think that movie is any better than average, you're clearly trying to hide something. Like, you can't possibly believe that.
I did. I mean, I've seen it one time. I didn't go back and watch it again. I found Black Panther to be an entertaining movie. I enjoyed it.
I thought it was good.
It was a lot of nonsense around it on both sides of it. The left tried to kind of signal boost it to pretend that it was the first black film ever. And then, there were people on the opposite side that were trying to shut up. And look, I get it. I'm not saying it was a great film. I mean, I know a lot of people just consider it a very average movie, and I totally understand that.
Yeah, eight's a little high. I mean,
saying. Yeah, absolutely. So I've heard that from a lot. So yeah. So I managed to piss everybody off with my 8 out of 10. So I've been pissed off my supporters and my haters, I guess.
That's skills. Skills.
Yeah. Hey, that's what you got to do. Horror Amarada. Love hearing a spirited intellect debate between two people who disagree. Makes me happy in all the right ways. And another reason I try to support every bit I can. Horror Amarada is amazing. I love everything, Horror Amarada does. Big supporter of us. I think she found us through Young Rippa. I think so. Yeah. And that's great because the crossover, like,
what it's
there
about.
is not I have sensed very little jealousy. Now there is some, but very little jealousy from my overall like YouTube sphere from anything. And I don't mean that from me personally. I just mean generally speaking. So like right now with what Rekida's doing, with them blowing up and getting 80,000 people watching, gaining 100,000 subscribers in a week. I don't see any jealousy for that from people that I'm connected to. I see people going, fuck yeah, he deserves it. It's about time. We love seeing it, and that's a beautiful thing, man. I love that. I love seeing that because everybody's going to have their moment to kind of, elevate, and then you're going to have downtime, and then someone else is going to, and that's just part of it. But it's really cool. And, I'm really happy to see that. But that's kind of what we have here, man, in this little sphere, little corner of the internet, as I say. And, I'm really just, it's cool to be part of, man. And I couldn't be happier for what I'm seeing from Ricada right now.
We're like, I feel like we're lucky to be surrounded by so many people like that who are, listen, we fucking joke all the time. We talk a lot of shit all the time, but the reality is, I feel like everybody that we've ended up surrounding ourselves with is pretty humble and, extremely willing to like come on the channel, even if it's just all the time they have in the day, even though they've been streaming 9 hours, about to stream again, shit like that. And
authentic
so it's just,
well.
really authentic. And that's why everybody here is successful, is the authenticity, because those fake fucks, they don't last. They can't last here on YouTube. They last in the mainstream media where authenticity doesn't matter, where narrative, that's all that matters. But there's some, I get what you're saying. But for the most part, once you're not authentic, everybody's out on you in this universe right here.
True that.
Yeah, I mean, like, for real, Ricada hopping on here like last second is incredible with everything. The dude had 75, 80,000 people watching him earlier, and he's had an unbelievable week, and he still, carved out about 45 minutes to hop on here. I didn't even realize an hour had passed because, Robert told us, hey, I got about an hour. And then when he said he had to go, I was like, oh shit, we're like 7 minutes over, and he had to bounce out of here really quick. I didn't realize we'd got an hour because him and Nick were just, killing it with all the good conversation. And so, yeah, I mean, and Robert comes on our Sports War streams for like 150 fucking people. So he wants to talk football with us.
That's
Robert
awesome.
Barnes has no reason to be on a Sports War stream for the 150 people, yet he hops over there,
That's so cool.
And not to say that a lot of our Sports War stream do well when we're bitching about LeBron James and calling out the NFL, but when we're actually talking about like sports, nobody wants to listen. But Sports Wars is doing great. Ryan's gonna have his silver play button soon. Sports Wars is over 110,000 subscribers now.
Yeah.
And Ryan gets the silver play button for that channel because he's the reason that it hit 100K. So
should be tomorrow. I think it's getting delivered tomorrow. So I'm gonna do my unboxing video and cry.
You can get multiples. You don't have to just get one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can order a few.
Okay.
What?
Sweet. All right.
Well, I mean, Jeremy ain't getting one, but I guess we'll see how that goes.
I'm getting one now.
I have one for a show I used to be on where we had differing opinions, but that didn't last.
Well, am I aware of that show? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't even know
It's
what
not the same.
about, so.
It's not the same anymore. A bunch of yes men now.
They did have a crazy show today, to be fair.
I like having differing opinions, though. It makes for a good show.
It absolutely does.
Well, when I went, I disagreed.
I heard about that.
The motherfucker on fire when I went there.
I heard about that, Ripa. I don't watch the show, but
blowing me up that next day. Oh, don't ever have that motherfucker back. Yeah.
But see, that's the thing, man. I don't, for all of, like, again, we're talking about generally leftists that will label Geeks and Gamers an echo chamber or whatever, which is the dumbest thing, like. Has anybody watched me and Ryan stream? Like, really? I mean, obviously we agree on a lot. That Star Wars is a piece of shit and woke Hollywood's a piece of shit. You know why we agree on that? Because it's fucking true. Like, it's just true. That's not like anything crazy, but we have our just let me bring Tim Tebow up on a fucking Sports Wars stream and just see what happens. Okay. But I don't like agreements. I don't like it. Like, I like to debate. I like a back and forth. But it's got to be a person, like, you got to find people that are built the right way, because a lot of people just aren't built for just a debate and then go on with their life. You know what I mean? But when you find people like that, people like Adam, people like Ripa and Ryan, that's who you want to, just hang out with and bullshit with. Because, you don't, like, I've had people in the past that, I'm friends with, and I like to debate and argue. And so I feel like after it was over, I was like, this weird feeling, like, I probably should like text them because they seem really mad. I don't like fucking being around people like that. I don't like to text somebody. Hey man, are you okay? Are you okay that we argued over sports or some shit like that? I don't like that. So the
world's now full of people who, if you disagree with them on Twitter, they will block you, and then they'll screenshot your tweet and put it out there so you cannot respond to them. Like, that's right. Like that's the society we live in.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I don't want to see you. I don't want to deal with you anymore. I don't want you disagreeing with me. You're fired.
Blockchains, man, like the very idea of blockchains, that because someone follows this person, I'm going to block all of the people that they follow, which is the assumption that there's no possible way that anyone that follows you could follow any one of them. Like,
if you disagree with me with this one little piece of information, you're a Nazi.
The inherent idea of blockchains is bitch made mentality. Those are people who truly cannot exist anywhere except in their own echo chamber.
I only block people if someone blocked me. Oh, you blocked me? Oh, well, I'll block you. That's it. That's the only people I block.
I blocked. I don't have anybody blocked on my new Twitter account. My old one, I had a couple of people blocked that said like really bad shit, like about like what they're like coming to Pensacola, and I was like, okay, motherfucker, I don't need you anywhere near my timeline or anything. But my new account, the one, because my last one got DMCA'd, but my new account, I don't have anybody blocked. So
I mean, it doesn't really matter. You open a private window on you. Open the tweet, you can see it. It's not like it's really matters. Like whatever, doesn't do shit.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, see, you and you have people that are always trolling, like this person here. Didn't you have Shane Davis on your channel a few weeks ago?
Yes, I did.
And didn't I highlight that on Tuesday night's main event like a few weeks ago? Didn't I tell everybody he's doing great things?
Yes,
true. But people like to make shit up. People like to make shit
up.
I
saw someone in chat. Oh, Adam's he's always so butthurt. It's like, no, I don't give a shit. I couldn't be more grateful that I'm not on that show, that I don't live in that house. Y'all have no fucking clue. All right, dude. Nobody has any idea. Actually, there's
people are weird. People want like
there's a few people that might know about it, but man, if you only fucking knew.
There's a bunch of people that try to project like sort of feelings on you, and it's fucking weird. I've always thought that was fucking weird. I get that all the time. Like, you feel this kind of way, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, fucking, like, people are weird, dude. Weird.
Well, yeah, I mean, and that's just, it is what it is. I mean, I've mentioned, look, I don't think, like, there's nobody, generally speaking, like, there's people that have hate channels that are built just on hating me and Geeks and Gamers. Do I think you should support them? If you fucking hate me, go for it. Hey, I don't care.
It's bringing more people to talk to hear about you.
I don't care who you support. I don't care what you support. It's your business. Your money is your money. And I will never tell you how to spend your money. I will never tell you how to spend your money. I'll tell you how I'm going to spend mine. And I'll say, well, if you're on the fence, then I recommend this. But at the end of the day, like I've said with the boycotting of stuff like that, like when I said I wasn't going to see Captain Marvel, my response was, if you're upset about that, I recommend you go buy 2 tickets and offset the fact that my 1 ticket does not go, because that is your right. Just like it's my right to not spend my money on the movie, because I will never tell somebody how to spend their money. That's just not who I am. Other people may, and that's fine, but that's just my stance on it. And so, but that's the authoritarian left. They are determined to tell you how to spend your money and what to do. And you're a toxic racist if you do that or whatever, so okay, so PWH says, another week and another amazing series of guests. Hail to the coffee man Adam Krigler and the insightful Robert Barnes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And again, if you're watching this, you should be subscribed to Adam Krigler, the Krigler Show, and obviously to Eric and to Ryan and to Krista Nova, even though you're going to get completely different content from Krista than anything we're doing. Yeah. So
she'll talk more.
She'll talk more.
Maybe.
She'll talk more, and she'll talk a lot on her Twitch stream for sure. Jay Schwalbach, 25. I was so inspired by last week's show. I watched Undercover Brother every night since. And tonight, I believe it will be epic. Not sure what this will inspire me to watch this week. Devil's Advocate? ? Hail FNT. Right back at you, Jay Schwalbach. Also, a second one from Jay Schwalbach. I wasn't planning on doing a second donation, but I want you to know that in 1976, I enlisted in the Air Force at 17 years old. My dad had to sign off, but I was given an M16 after basic and put on the fight line and told to guard it. That means shoot someone. So there you go. But apparently that's here's what I wanted to make this point earlier when we were talking about it with Robert and Nick. I love the fact that the same crowd that doesn't seem to think that, or the same crowd that thinks we need open borders, have now talked about crossing state lines. Like, what the fuck?
State lines, man.
Crossing state lines?
Driving 30 minutes to up the road is fucking
what?
Which will again, it's false anyway. But they keep going with this cross state lines thing. I've not heard that many people use that term now than I have.
That was the download. That was the fucking download.
That was the update, right? That was
exactly. Also, the rifle. Like there is legitimately different rules state to state, so that could be a thing. But the rifle was never in Illinois.
That's what I'm saying. It was a lie. It was a lie anyway. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
It was they operated on a lie, and they're still talking about it. They're still discussing it as if it's something worth fucking discussing. It's weird. And it really, just because I was born in the South, so motherfuckers just carrying guns everywhere ain't fucking. I mean, that's another day in the books. Right, but there are people that are genuinely like confused that people would like just like walk around or have like an AR-15, and it goes to show how much in a bubble just so many people are. Like how standard, like if you go, for example, in the South, you go to like to rallies and shit, like motherfuckers walk around with ARs like all the fucking time. Like it's a normalcy. But people that live in bubbles act like that's just such a bizarre thing that someone definitely consider as age. For those of you that don't know, many cases it's only legal, which is bullshit. I will say that they separate that. You can only own a shotgun or be in possession of one or a long rifle in the event that you are under the age of 18, which is a bullshit law. I'll be the first to say that, but yeah, that's the case anyway. So hell, he would have been really incriminated if he had a handgun.
Yes, and that's exactly the thing. And when they was questioned, they're like, why did you feel like you needed to buy an AR-15? He said, well, I actually wanted a shotgun, but they were out, and I knew the only other thing I could own was a long rifle, so I chose the AR-15. Like, why didn't you get a handgun? It's like, well, I'm not allowed to have a handgun. I'm only 17 years old. Right? and you talked about how clueless these people are. They are, because you had people when the gun charge got dismissed, rightly so, because in the state of Wisconsin, if you are under the age of 18, there's an exception to the dangerous weapons law for possession under 18. And that is if you are above the age of 16 and if it is a long-barreled rifle or a long-barreled shotgun. And people are like, they dismissed it because the gun was too big. In what world does that make any sense? It's like, y'all fucks don't even understand why that is, why you can't have a short-barreled rifle, a concealed rifle, like something that you could legitimately conceal, or a sawed-off shotgun, something like that. Because these people don't even have any understanding of firearms or
firearms at all. Firearms, or again, like the fact that people use them in the way that they do. Like people look at, and I've talked about this with folks out in the West Coast, for example. West Coast, like for example, if I had this bitch in the West Coast, it's probably 20 rounds in this motherfucker. I'd be fucking. Am I in California? I'm a criminal, or some shit. But they don't even like. In certain pockets of the country, it is absurdly normal for people to have and own certain types of weapons. But a lot of folks, particularly these coastal like elite, who maybe because of their useless gun laws they're not accustomed to that. So they look at something like the AR-15 as this big, scary black rifle that is just shouldn't be out there, not understanding that it is so standard for people to use that in really a lot of different regards, be it home defense or self-defense, carrying ARs, having it in the car, like it's
a deterrent.
Yeah, I had an uncle that had a fucking shotgun, like fucking that he set up in the back of the fucking truck. Like that was just like a normal thing when he went out. Yeah, it's Texas, that was a normal thing. But to a lot of them, because they're so unaccustomed to it, they don't realize, and that includes the prosecution, who again points a fucking AR-15 with his finger on the goddamn trigger, essentially violating all rules there are regarding using firearms. That's why.
Ripa, I want you to know. I saw my mom in chat just say, "Good point, Ripa."
Your mom? Shout out!
Nice.
Yeah.
Shout out! Shout out!
My mom said you had a good point there.
Big shout out!
I gotta share something real quick because I just came across this, and this shit is too funny to not talk about. Of course, it fucking does that. Got too many Chrome tabs open. Fucking. All right. And
Oh,
the crowd
shit.
goes wild in Woodstock, New Hampshire. I didn't see this until right now.
Yeah.
I will.
I
just want to read that
sound
caption.
on. You gotta turn the sound on.
It's on.
Oh, okay.
All right. Okay.
Stoked.
There's
Absolutely
one person,
fucking stoked.
There's one person
I don't hear
clapping right
anything.
now.
All right, I didn't know that what I saw the same video, but they were playing the Vader theme. Bam, 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 bam.
You haven't heard the big roar yet. You'll hear the big roar here.
All right, here we go. Sounds like cameras clipping. Is what it sounds like.
No, it sounds like one of those little clap things.
That's it. That is the crowd too. If they zoom further out, there would be no empty. You'd see the empty seats.
Oh my god.
Woo!
Oh my.
So
Fortified, baby.
Most popular president
Fortified.
in history. 81 million.
Go back to when, you know, and again, we can all have our opinions now, but regardless of what our opinions of Obama is now, when that dude ran for his first election, that dude was a fucking rock star. Okay. Everywhere he went, he pulled in tens of thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people in some cases. Even when he went around the world, the dude was a fucking rock star. Donald Trump is a rock star. Everywhere he goes, packs people out. Hundreds of thousands of people are watching his streams on fucking Rumble. You know what I mean? Like, it's just insane. Joe Biden can't pull a fucking crowd anywhere he goes. Like, there's no enthusiasm. There's none. But most popular president
and
of
gets
all time,
ratioed on literally every fucking thing he does.
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Fortified, baby.
It's unbelievable.
It's a double-edged sword because no one fucking is excited for him. No one actually cares about him. And the people that are convinced that if they go outside without 8 boosters and 15 masks on, they'll die. You know what I mean? So it's a double-edged sword for him to get people to show up.
Very true.
That's true.
That's crazy.
Let's see. Captain for $50 says establishment hates Trump. That's why I want him in office. I mean, I agree with that. Obviously, I agree with that. I mean, that's not the only reason, but I think that's a great reason.
They've
Jake
hated him for a long time. Go ahead, man.
Guys, let Krista talk, says Jake.
No,
Krista, no, can't let it happen. Marksman says Trump was the single mongoose thrown into a den of vipers, and we said we did a good job. We put no one else there with him, set up to fail from the start. I mean, I would argue that would be Trump's responsibility to kind of bring those people with him. I wouldn't say that was our responsibility. And again, I speak as a Trump supporter and a continued Trump supporter, but to Ryan's point about Trump made it clear that if he as an individual made it, that he as an individual would fix it. So, now again, I agree with the sentiment. I do, but it's on him though. You still got to put the responsibility at his door. If he knew the fight he was going up against better, and that's on him to kind of know, like, you're getting into a filthy world, man. You're upsetting some really fucked up people. And for a guy that rubbed shoulders with these people for all of these years, decades, he should have known how dirty it was going to get. And I think he underestimated just how dirty it would get.
What pisses me off, or what's annoying, is a lot of people, and I feel like Rakita said earlier, the ephemeral they want people to think that it's all the president, like the voting, that's all you really need to focus on, because he's going to fix anything, or we can blame everything on that one person, instead of realizing that there's so many clogs in this wheel of society, and I mean, all the different branches of government, which I know Ripa's probably like, oh, I gotta say something here.
No, they're all pieces of shit. I mean, I'm fucking.
Yeah. I mean, well,
I've made that
all of their fault. It's all of it. It's not just the president. It's like this whole fucking system.
I spend my days every day talking about these pieces of shit. And
right.
I called the Congress a den of fucking. It was actually me trying to calm these idiot conservatives down who were falling over themselves trying to condemn the January 6th act. I was the one that went on Blaze and said, "Why the fuck are y'all doing that? Why are we pretending like the Congress isn't a den full of a bunch of goddamn criminals, man?" That was me that was fucking dizzy. I absolutely agree with that. It ain't just fucking. I got my quarrels with Trump and all those, but it ain't fucking just him. It never been.
Exactly.
It never has been.
Right.
Now let's see. There was one. Twisted Ninja says you need to preach your viewers to vote in their local elections. Ripple won't be doing that, but
I tell them to go shit in the booth. If you go shit in the booth, man, drop a ripper in there. Call it that.
You know, I mean, again, I do, and I kind of get where I kind of see what Ripple's point for sure. Not that I obviously see his point. I guess I kind of agree with his point in a lot of ways. Because like I said, the first time I truly voted was 2016, and it was because Trump motivated me to vote. I don't want to urge anybody to do anything they don't want to do, as long as you're not doing illegal shit. And I guess that could be that. What were you guys saying about the judge having the kind of blind faith in Kenosha people? Yeah. Is that might be me having blind faith in people to just, not want to urge people to do anything. I'm an individualist, so I urge you to do whatever the fuck you want, kind of, as long as it's not illegal. That's kind of my stance on generally everything. But if it works for you, it works for you. But you got to do your own research and
I urge you to get involved at the local level. If you care, doesn't mean you need to vote or whatever, but if you care, you should get involved at the local level. Go to the school board meetings, see what the fuck's going on there. Like all that shit, that's the stuff that will affect your day-to-day life more than anything else. Because although we're not 100% more than the president, like your local elected officials who you might not even know their fucking name, that does have more impact on you at the end of the day, your day-to-day shit, than Joe fucking Biden does. And those are the people that very rarely have any accountability or any headlines or anything like that. Those are the people that might be doing shit that you can truly have an effect and change. It doesn't take that many people. It doesn't take 81 million votes. It might take a couple dozen citizens being proactive about something. That might be all it takes. So if you truly want to get involved, locals where to start for sure.
Well, on to that point, Alejandro Lopez says first step is more state power, less federal power, then more local power, less state power.
Decentralization, baby. 100%.
Power has to be pushed down towards the individual.
100%. Preach. So, that's the gospel right there.
Let's see. Tricky Ricky, I'm dropping a rip in the booth. So
there you go. There you go. That's efficiency, baby.
Let's see. Twisted Ninja for 20. The prosecution said it was a political trial. They did say that. And it's just, it's disgusting. It really is.
Crazy,
that they don't even shy away from it. And so let's see. Running Water, which is the only reason we were able to do this tonight, because I have to find a justified reason, says cringed when Binger went after FPSs. Those are games in which you use weapons like AR-15s to pretty much shoot anyone who comes at you, correct? Yeah, so thank you, Binger, for saying that, because it allowed me to do this wonderful stream. That was the only reason. So for those that say, what does this got to do with video games? Everything.
That's what it has to do with.
Yeah, everything. Like I need a fucking reason to talk about politics.
Yeah. But that was such a great response, though, because he's like, isn't it true that in Call of Duty you use AR-15s? He's like, I don't think there's an AR-15 in Call of Duty. But isn't it true you use guns like AR-15s to kill anyone around you? There are no medics.
It's a video game.
And he's like, it's not real life though. It's a video game. I really wish he would have been like, there aren't any medics in Call of Duty, are there? You said you're there to provide medical help. He's like, well, not in Call of Duty, but in Battlefield there is. Like that would have been fucking perfect.
Oh God, that would have been so good. That would have been so good. Yeah, I mean, it is the most insane tone deaf thing you can possibly do, and I will continue to rip on Trump for insinuating that during his presidency about video games and violence. It's the dumbest thing you can say. And I guess at this point in time, I've started to sense that I've started to kind of go after Republicans more recently Because I just expect it from Democrats and leftists. Like, I mean, I expect them to be complete idiots at this point. But now I'm like, Republicans, I feel like there's still some hope for them, but they've got to really get the rhinos out of there. But every time they start doing the, like, again, I get the argument against the porn industry.
Josh
Okay, I get
Hawley.
it. I get it. But you're not helping anything. You're not helping anything by going after that in video games. You're just not. Because right now, there's more important things to focus on. There's far more important things. Some things I can't even talk about here on this channel or on this platform. There's far more important things than that. And so I'll just leave it at that. Captain, I went to Scottsdale school board meeting last night right next to my house. A Let's Go Brandon chant broke out when I got there. Hell yeah. Love it. That's perfect right there. That is fucking awesome. I love it. And that's another thing. They're trying their best to kind of
thank you,
squash
Brandon.
that. Yeah, that's they're trying to squash it. It ain't. So Blue Eyes
we gotta go down to Sarasota. There's a pizza place that's doing fuck Joe Biden pizzas.
Yes.
Nice.
We were talking about that. Yes. Look at this. Look at Blue Eyes Scorpio.
Oh shit. Man, I didn't know they had a part in Call of Duty where you had to run away from a pedophile and then turn around and shoot him.
Yeah, it's 2 kills and dismemberment, I think. That's what you gotta do.
Let's see. Kevin said for 50 says not sure why no one is talking about the Ahmaud Arbery trial. Day 7 clearly looks like self-defense and talking about riots, if not guilty. Has anybody been following that?
I've been following the Ahmaud Arbery case a little bit.
I heard Nate.
Nate the lawyer has been all over that shit.
Yes, Nate the lawyer, when he came on to Ricada's stream earlier, I heard him talking a little bit about it. The prosecution is rested.
Yeah,
right?
And honestly, the prosecution's case is looking kind of flimsy. Listen, the defense had a bad moment. When they complained about all the black people that were in the crowd, basically saying that Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson. This is what they said.
I heard about that.
There's too many black preachers coming up and sitting down next to the defendant or next to the prosecution and all that shit. Because Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson kept coming in there and sitting next to Ahmaud Arbery's family and like taking their masks off to make sure that everybody saw that it was Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton there.
Trying to be seen.
Yeah, but so that was kind of a bad look.
Hustles, man.
Yeah, the race hustlers. Yeah, but that was a bad look for the defense. But overall, the prosecution was not able to call him a jogger because there's no evidence that he was actually a jogger, so they can't refer to him as that. They've got like footage of him in the neighborhood in freezing degrees, wandering around people's houses with the shirt off in the middle of the night. That makes just weird shit going on. Yeah. And also the police, like a week before, they were looking for Ahmaud Arbery because he was suspected of fucking robbing a bunch of places. So they actually like instructed people in the area to like look for him and like go armed and look for him. Yeah.
Holy shit.
A lot of stuff's come out in this, and I don't have all the specifics, not near what I have in the Rittenhouse case. So follow Nate the lawyer. He's been doing a lot of coverage on that. Because that's going on at the same time. And it would probably be a lot bigger if Kyle's case wasn't going on right now.
And you know what else? Other case just started, right?
Maxwell?
Ghislaine Maxwell. Yep.
Yeah.
There's so much, man.
Media's not talking about that. You know they don't want to
rather just play Halo.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, I hear that.
Speaking of Halo, there was a super chat and I just lost it. That was about Halo. It said something to the
that it's meh.
No, I said the multiplayer is really good, but they're more worried about the campaign because unlike COD, the campaign matters, and in 5 they screwed up the campaign, screwed up the story. And so, which like Lethal Lightning, he'll rant like hell about how bad Halo 5. He says Halo 5 was the last Jedi of the Halo franchise. That's how bad Lethal says it is.
Oof.
So,
I
don't know how bad that was.
Guy anyway, so
I
guess I can see that perspective.
I think that Frank is right. I think that is that's something to the effect. Police said they believed him to be armed, so arm yourself around him. Like that's what the police said to the community. So there's a lot of interesting stuff coming out.
So when he went at that truck, when he went at him, they were told that he was armed. So they were like, it's safe to assume that they thought he was coming at him armed. Wow. Okay.
Marksman's the one that said that about the Halo story in the campaign. So, and then we've got Cheeto Dictator says Adam Krigler is collecting his strength for Elden Ring, so leave the man alone. Yeah, I know you're excited about Elden Ring. So,
I check the Bandai site every day. Hold on, let me show you. Let me show you guys. I'm gonna send this in the private tweet. They're doing this premium collector's edition that you get a 1-to-1 ratio replica of a helmet.
Yeah,
from the game. It looks so dope, and it's just
saw
not
some
available
gameplay.
yet.
I saw some early gameplay. It looks phenomenal. So it looks
I'm gonna
really
get
good.
it. I'm gonna stream it day one, man. I'm gonna play the shit out of that game. I played every single From Software. They're my favorite game company.
Yep.
I love anything that they do. So
nice.
Smash
Ball for $9.99 says, "Man, it's ridiculous how they covered this case in the media. They made it seem like he went there like Rambo. It's disgusting that it's hard work to find the truth." That is very well said.
Yep.
That is very well said, because if you listen to him, especially Joe fucking Scarborough, that piece of shit, and I'm really glad Rekieta, got him to bite the other day. But yeah, I mean, what did he say? 60 rounds.
He fired 60 rounds.
And I know it, and I don't care if you backtrack. That's not the point. The point is you need to be more responsible in the beginning. Like this is real life shit, man. You know what I mean? And
I think that's why Rekieta's stream blew up so much, because people want that. They're like, I don't want this fucking gaslit bullshit. I want some real people talking about like what's actually happening. And Rekieta is as authentic as they come, and you get all of that when you go to his stream and watch the shit. So
yeah, Rekieta's the type of guy, where because I became aware of Rekieta with the Vic Mignogna stuff, obviously, which a lot of people did, and Rekieta's the type of guy where if he can just get a topic that he's knowledgeable on, I mean, he's entertaining as hell, and he's a great host, and he's a great he can take it to
and
the
dish
moon,
it,
like
and dish
it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm really happy for him. Let me see.
He's always been the ultimate grifter. Now he's just taking it to the fucking stratosphere.
Loretta Silver member says, "I'm very tuned into the news." Oh God. I get all my news from Uche. No, I get all my news from Uche's Twitter feed. Ooh.
Oh God.
That's rough.
I'm sorry I'm sorry that your brain dead.
Did y'all see that interaction between me and him the other day? Did y'all see that shit? I'm gonna show you all the geeks. I'm gonna show you all the Geeks and Gamers echo chamber right here. Give me just a second. Let me pull this shit up, because I mean this is kind of what we do. You know what I mean? Like in terms of like when I argue with people or anybody on this team, we just kind of go back and forth, and then it's over. It's just completely over. Okay, here we go right here. All right, so I said, God dang it, I can't read half of the shit that I'm about to say, which will prove my point completely. I can't read half the shit that's in here. So
this is the argument about the N-word and hard R's.
Yep. So this guy says, y'all talking about this lame ass N-word, and this kid Rittenhouse got weapon charges dropped after shooting 2 N-words with an AR. So then I said another blue check mark thinks Kyle Rittenhouse shot black people. And then Uche's trying to explain to me the usage of the N-word, which I totally understand. I know what he's saying. And I think everybody understands what he's saying. You know what I mean? That that it's used to describe all types of people, not just black people from black culture. And then so I'm being devil's advocate, as I always am. Well, if it's used by black people to describe white people, then white people should be able to use it in return. But of course, we all know that won't be acceptable. And he keeps going back and forth. And then so I screenshot all these people that said that, that it's black people that Kyle Rittenhouse shot. And then he comes back.
Nice collection, dude.
So yeah. And then I got it from another account, but
I don't care.
So then he's just like, he said, I could say it, but you can't. I think I circled it right here. Yeah. It is different rule for you than I. So I screenshotted that. And then we keep going back and forth. And then finally I was like, motherfucker, do tell me. At least it does for us white people. Just tell you what. I said, God damn it, Uche, I'm not going to argue with you all day. And then I said, just another day for the Geeks Gamers Chamber. Later, bro. See you on COD. And that's it. That's how it ends.
Scroll back up to the do tell part. That was the one that lost me.
All right.
Yeah. It says, yes. Now ask me, Uche, why can black people say the N-word and white people can't? And you said, LOL, do tell. And he says, I'm waiting for you to ask.
So,
dumb fuck.
It's so Uche too, man. Be doing that old contrarian bullshit, man. So fucking Uche, man. So
Damn.
Uche, man.
This is, to be fair, it's a rare case of his tweets and replies not being ratioed. So I guess it's a good day for Uche.
Oh man. But yeah, I mean that's just it's just what we do. You know what I mean? Like I don't take it serious. I see him and Rippa fighting all the fucking time,
we do it
man.
all the time, man. But so we agreed today on light skin motherfuckers though. That was awesome.
But the thing, listen, and I get how Uche comes off on Twitter and everything. At the end of the day, bottom line is this: Uche decided to link up with Geeks and Gamers, knowing who I was and what we're all about, and look, he's got a lot of friends in the NFL that question him when they see Sports Wars. They're like, really, man, this is the crew you're running with? It's just trashing.
You got some white.
I ask myself that every
videos.
time I come on this show.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, if you're gonna I know ever since the whole Zack Snyder thing happened, they're like, oh, you need to get rid of Uche. Like, in the day, man, it happened. It sucked, but we move on. And so Uche's a good guy. I cringe when I see his Twitter feed too, but it is what it is, man. He's a good dude. So funny shit, man. Uche's a trip. Krista, if you need to go and bounce and get your stream set up, I'm gonna try to end it in about another 20 or 30 minutes. So, but it's up to you. So whatever works good for you.
Out here, actually, dude, I'm starving, man. I gotta get some.
Yeah,
dinner.
no, man, absolutely. Adam, it's always a pleasure to have you here. I'm sure we're gonna be seeing more of you. You gonna play some Halo with us tonight?
Yeah, I'll jump on.
Get it installed, man. Because what
it's ready. It's ready.
You already ready? Oh shit, hell yeah. Let's
I already got it. Got it over last night. So
So I know Platinum's wanting to play with us too, Rippa. He's good.
Yeah,
so
I know.
We may have to play big team though, for at least a little bit, and then break off or something. But I mean, Platinum is supposed to be a beast.
Yeah,
you got Lethal.
Yeah,
now I mean, so we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. At the end of the day, follow all of our Twitch.
Good. If you guys need a fourth, let me know. Let me know.
Okay.
Yeah.
But but we can play big team battle and we can have a ton of people in that. So but the competitive thing is the 4v4. Like that's where it's like big team battle is chaos.
That's chaotic. It's actually good to kind of get your feet wet and like
get warmed up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Definitely. And Mike said he'll be on too. So Adam, good having you, buddy. And are you going to be on for Mario Kart? You going to be on for Mario Kart?
Yeah.
Sure? You going to chicken out? Oh,
you pussy.
That was good. That was good.
Real quick, speaking of Halo, isn't this an interesting announcement? Call of Duty Vanguard multiplayer will be free to play this weekend.
Microsoft is controlling the game right now. Like they when they released it early, they fucked a lot of shit up, and they know that.
Yes, they did.
They did it. That was clearly on purpose.
Yeah. And it doesn't help that Activision is going through all this shit.
Yeah.
And it continues to be manipulated by people with fucking purple hair and wearing masks
all
around and shit.
Here's the deal. Here's the deal right here. All right. This is why competition is important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Competition is important. That's why when we talk about the old school wrestling days, the Monday Night Wars, it's the best thing that ever happened to professional wrestling. Monday Nitro started to come up and start taking those ratings from WWF. And then suddenly WWF had to step their game up, and it created the greatest, era in the history of wrestling. And I don't think we'll ever get back to anything like that. But the competition is good for the fans, good for the customers, good for everybody. Competition is great. So what Microsoft and Halo did with releasing the multiplayer of Infinite, not only just releasing it as a free game, but releasing a good game. It's solid as fuck. So now they're forcing the hand of other companies, and I think it's a great thing. So hell yeah. And I'm not a Microsoft person. I'm typically not an Xbox person. I'm a Nintendo guy, but even when it comes down to Xbox and PlayStation, I kind of lean PlayStation for sure.
Yeah, same
but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But it's good stuff, man. All right. So it jumped on me again. Why does it keep doing this? Let me find it. I was somewhere.
Fucking
Johnny Arnett. What's up, Johnny Arnett? Can I say anything about Johnny? Ryan?
Absolutely, yeah.
You will be seeing Johnny Arnett on Sports Wars and probably Gaming with Geeks at some point, but definitely Sports Wars. And so, just continue. Johnny's got a really big YouTube channel. He's got over 100,000 subscribers. He's got a basketball channel. So Ryan, go ahead. Tell us about Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny, we saw Johnny at the meetup in Arizona. It was awesome when he came out there. And yeah, you've seen him in the chats probably quite a bit. It's pretty hard to miss with that freaking verified check mark, which we can't seem to figure out how to get for Sports Wars. So we got to figure that fucking out. But no, Johnny's awesome, and he makes great content. He's the opposite of me and Jeremy. Once again, he makes great content. So we're really excited. We had a good talk today, and you're going to be seeing him on Sports Wars in the near future. And he's also got a gaming channel called Johnny64, where he, again, makes great content. So you should definitely check both of his channels out.
100%.
Yeah.
No, I'm really happy about it. And so, all right, Krista, you got to bounce. Oh, she said she'll be right back. Never mind. I had to mute Ripa. I don't know if he had forgot to mute his mic or what. Did you hear him?
I did. He was like, he was
like, yo.
He was saying, I didn't mean all that stuff about light-skinned black people. I'm just fronting.
Let me see. Commander Ed says, yes, Young Ripa is right. Only give the government the power you want your own worst enemy to have, because governments always abuse power. Yes, absolutely. But Johnny says the Ripper Krigler chat is the best chat since Jeremy and Ryan's In and Out is overrated chat. Hail Geeks and Gamers. Yes, definitely. Let's see. Not applicable says Rippa is right because he's loud and he talks over people. LOL. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. Let's see. There's Georgia. Let's see. And I got that one. Michael Pernesti. Have a good show, everyone. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate that. Lofty Pixels. What's up, Lofty Pixels?
What's up,
Based panel. Love you guys. Anyone placing bets on Kyle's incoming defamation lawsuit? Over under $250 million? What did the Covington guy get? What Nick Sandman?
Well, that was settled, so he didn't actually get 250.
Right.
But I don't know. I think it might be. It's going to be tough. It's really going to be tough in a lot of ways. There's a lot of people that tweet about this. Joe Biden fucking tweeted that Kyle Rittenhouse is a white supremacist, right?
Yeah,
like that's fucking hard. But man, but the thing is, the media was saying it, so you go after the media who was saying it that then got perpetuated. So I've heard some people say they think that the case against Kyle, or the case Kyle would have for defamation, would be a little more difficult than Sandman. I'm not sure exactly why, of all the civil litigation stuff that goes into that, but that's just what I've heard experts say. But pretty similar, at least. Maybe I think it would probably go for over 250 million altogether, but it's tough to tell.
Yeah, definitely. Let me see. Bill Sotheby, not for nothing, but I'd watch a drama comedy TV series about Binger and Krause in the vein of an Odd Couple buddy cop style. You have a dead ass casting with Aidan Gillian as Binger. Who would play Krause? Who would play Krause?
Fucking John Candy back in the day, I suppose. I don't know.
Oh man, let's see here. Mark G says, if you haven't already, buy Krigler coffee. It's the best coffee. Many people have said so. Drinking any other coffee is just taste bud abuse. Krigler coffee guaranteed to not make you woke. That's pretty damn good. And then I got this one earlier, but I'll reread it because I meant to touch on it a little bit earlier. But it's Chef Easy Does It says, hey guys, big fan of FNT and your channels. Congrats to Rekieta Law on his panel success covering this trial. Your play-by-play of this trial has been informative and entertaining, and I think is going to change the way big trials are covered. And yeah, I think that's not outside of the realm of possibility, considering that how much of an impact he's had. But it really just depends on how this trial goes too, in a lot of ways. But big shout out to Nick Rekieta. Really happy he came on, and same with Robert Barnes. It's a pleasure to have those guys on. An absolute pleasure. Been watching the Rekieta stream since day one. It's amazing how crazy people can convince themselves of anything. Kyle does better than most would do defending himself. Great coverage, Nick. Thanks. That's from Prophet of the Dragon. Adventurer. I hated defense as a cop because I saw the worst of worst: chromos, murderers, abusers. But since I have been out, I have recognized my blind side. How do I talk to all of my old cop friends? That's a tough one for me to kind of get into. I don't know if that was meant for the guys earlier, but I mean, I don't know how you would do it. I don't know how you would talk to any individual or anything like that. You know what I mean? From that perspective, that's just going to have to be a thing where you size up a person, their personality, their political beliefs, and you gotta take that into consideration. Because if they're Democrats and they are very much about pro BLM and Antifa rights and all that shit, then I'm not sure you're going to have any conversation with them that's going to go anywhere. But if they're a little more middle of the road, or maybe they're just not paying attention to everything going on in the world, maybe you can try to educate them. Because a lot of people, Joe Rogan said this earlier on Timcast, but basically said, because Alex Jones was talking about how, you know, people, how informed they are. And Joe Rogan was like, most people aren't as informed as you think, dude. Like, most people are like worrying about doing day-to-day shit. They're not, they just kind of in passing have things on in the background, you know? So that's kind of the way I would look at that.
Normies.
Normies. Yep. Which is that's the general audience right there. Copenhagen. If he was black, the left would be saying self-defense, but because he's white, they want him to go to prison for the rest of his life. These people are sick. Love the channel. Keep it up. In almost all cases, yes, but at the same time, it still just depends. Like if it's a black person that had a record of supporting conservatives, then the left wouldn't be supporting him. You know what I mean?
I think self-defense is one of the issues for sure, that they don't generally go to they don't really go to bat for a lot of black folks in that regard. It's not like a whole bunch of people trying to get black folk out of jail that went to get jail for like gun charges, bullshit possession charges, and shit like that. Like, they ain't lining up. The political left isn't lining up to try to do that. You know what I mean?
Right. Drugs. Right. It's drugs for them.
Yeah.
But like most that's because this is a rarity for self-defense cases, because self-defense cases almost always are he said, dead person said. Like that's usually what it is. It's very rare to have the entire thing captured on video, which is essentially what we have. Nearly every, like, not every minute, but a lot of time from that night is captured in places on footage from people that ultimately tried to kill Kyle and ran after him, starting things earlier in the night, doing all this shit, starting fires, going after people, telling people to shoot him, dropping the hard R. I guess it wasn't really a hard R. He's soft A. Mark Richards, defense attorney, went full hard R with that shit. But it's so rare to have something like this. That's why this case is truly open and shut. But the only thing that's keeping it from not being open and shut is what the media did for over a year misrepresenting it. What the people that are currently threatening to burn Kenosha to the ground are doing by putting pressure on that jury to make a certain decision. So it's a crazy case, and that's why it's so fucking important for everything going on in this country.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well said. Right here, Larry Herzog Jr. says, most of you use the Shure SM7B mics. Do you use physical mixers or a USB interface? And if the latter, which one? So I have an XLR. It's an XLR cable that connects it, and I have a physical mixer. I'm sure that's what Ripa uses too with it. You know,
here on this, I use a Rodecaster Pro. So
okay, yeah.
So
I
got this thing that I fucking tried to hook up today, but I did not have the right. I need
XLR
an XLR to XLR before I go to the.
You need a mixer.
So.
Yeah, you need a mixer, right?
Look at this shit.
Rodecaster, baby. That's
Pro,
baby.
baby.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's the best of
Ryan's in the big leagues now.
That's the best. That damn thing is so fucking nifty, man. You can even take it on the road. and record directly through it without needing like a laptop or anything. It's fucking amazing.
I would say so. Larry, it just depends on what stage you are. So if you're just starting out, I would recommend just going with the basic USB mic. Get you a Blue Yeti and just go straight with that. Like, don't overcomplicate it. Just kind of get you a decent USB mic. Blue Yeti is a great mic. It's got a little mute button on it and everything like that. And then as you kind of get further into it, you can get more into the advanced stuff.
Yeah,
that's what I got right
he
here.
has as well.
Yeah.
This is like my first, like, I got this shit like fucking when Blue first came out with this motherfucker. I don't even use it. Only time I use it is for Mario Kart.
Yeah.
For my second mic.
Yeah. So I mean, I would just say if you're just starting out, go with something like that. And then as you evolve into it, you can get into more of the more technical stuff right there. Seth42 says Barnes is a beast. Chubby Stubby says the isolation of criminals is tantamount for these people. That just look at St. George. This false idol worshiping of scumbags is sadly unsurprising at this point. St. George.
Patron saint of fentanyl.
Joshua Fitch says, or Josiah Fitch says, let's see, tomorrow will prove if the bell of liberty will be rung or if the handcuffs of the mob will be tightened, further putting us towards tyranny. Let freedom ring. That was very well said. There's Johnny right there. What up, Johnny? I use Blue Yeti too. Ain't changing anytime soon. Yep. Yeah, man. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's taking Ryan forever and a fucking day. Same with me though. So, I mean, hell, I started my first 75,000 subs was on a goddamn smartphone. That's all I was recording on. So I kind of went back to it too on D-Day Co-Res, recorded my phone for the hell of it. I was like, you know what? Let's just see what happens. Let me see. Lucifer the Doberman. Let me see. Yuri told us this was going to happen. You can shove the evidence of self-defense in someone's face and they don't care. Their morality is based off their political side, not the other way around. Absolutely. Green-haired anti-liberal. If this had been a woman or a black person who defended themselves, there wouldn't even be a trial. Only a trial because he's a white man and guns bad. It's disgusting. It is.
Think about like the prosecution saying that, well, Kyle was asking for it because he had a gun. Imagine if they had said, well, the bitch was wearing a skirt, so she asked for it.
Yep.
That's the equivalent.
That's the equivalent. That's 100% right. That's 100% right. Let me see. Gerald Armstrong said while you were talking, Ripa, earlier, and I think you'll appreciate this one, but this is a hill to die on. And I know Ripa's that stuff like that. So, yep, 100%. Brian Barlow, Binger was inferring that Kyle was like Jet Li at the end of the one. Look it up on YouTube and understand the absurdity of it. Yes. Oh man. That's pretty funny. FMJHP762. Imagine being upset a child shot a guy named Mo Lester. I highlighted that one earlier. Some young guy. Hey guys, love the live stream, and to everyone, hail. Following the trial through Nick's live streams, and I believe Kyle is innocent. Oh, and let's go, Brandon. Absolutely. Kyan Rennell. I'm Binger's bottom and Krause's top. Man sandwich. What the fuck? Oh man. Slosher. $10. Binger is so far in the closet, he's having adventures in Narnia. Oh gosh, you guys are freaking awesome. North Viking says, happy belated birthday, Ryan. We're birthday twins.
Hell yeah. Awesome. Thanks, man. Awesome. Happy birthday to you too.
B Carswell, Ripa and Cecil tweets made top of Patriots. Nice. Made top of Patriots win nice. I don't know what that means, B Carswell. Null White
sounds drunk.
In space, Daniel Kibblesmith can still make you scream.
Oh God.
Ultima, did you see? Oh, that was oh shit. I'm on fucking the Mario Kart stream. I was scrolling down so far, I got lost.
Oh shit.
Right. That was only two. Only read two. One of them was the B car as well. So he was because he said Ripa, but I forgot Ripa was on the Mario Kart stream too. So all right, there's a few more that I obviously didn't get to, guys, but it was a crazy stream. We had a lot of guests. We're probably gonna cut it here because we do have to go over to Twitch.
You want me to get through them? You want me to get through them? Well, you guys can go to your shit.
That's right, because you're not gonna stream, are you? And that's the perfect. I kind of split it all up though, man. So like, I'm gonna have to go through. You know what I mean? I just started going through. So yeah, but if you want to go through it, the mostly the 5 and 10s, the 10 and below is what I've missed. You know what I mean?
Did you not get Tricky Ricky's $50? Says I'm dropping a Rippa in the booth.
Yeah,
I did.
I got that one. Okay, I didn't hear that one.
Yeah, I think I got everything 20 and up. I think I got everything 20 and up, and even I got a few of the 5s and 10s and 2s, but mostly just everything from that. So
I'll stay here. I'll stay here. I'll fucking make sure we get them all done.
Okay. Well, you got Rippa, you go and get set up. Krista, you go and get set up. Me and Ryan will hang here for a few.
All right,
we'll close it out. And then Rippa, you go ahead and go live on your channel whenever, and I'll shoot you a message.
All right, cool.
All right,
yeah,
later.
Because now that we got that cool Streamlabs shit, I can fucking actually end the stream from here. So
it's perfect. So all right, we'll get Krista out of here.
Yeah,
there we
go. Let me go to supers. We probably got to do it this way, huh? Fucking backwards.
Well, while you're doing that, Krista is the focus of next week's intro, says Mr. Grant Gregory. That's
shit.
Not good. All right, I'll just go from the very top. Well, I got to refresh.
I got it. I'll start from the bottom and work all the way back. So
go for it.
Hokies for $5. Everyone's right to self-defense is on trial, not just Kyle's. They want to end your ability to defend yourself against their attacks. That's why it's so important, man. You're 100% right. Marksman of 117B for $5. This was for Nick. Nick, you and Tim are the only streams I've seen hit past 80K. The only stream I saw be bigger was the 1 million viewer stream for the end of Unasanas. I don't know exactly what that is. Maybe I might be mispronouncing that. But I've seen Crowder have some really big streams on election night. And actually, Crowder had a really big stream for this as well. But yeah. And now Joe Rogan. Remember when Joe had Alex on? Mike. What's up, Mike? He says, that's fucking funny.
That is funny as hell. Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, Tim Pool hit over 100,000 when he first had Alex Jones on. That first time he had Alex Jones on, he hit over 100K. He had 100K tonight. And he's had 100K on. I think that's the second time I've seen Tim Pool. So tonight, and then when he had Alex Jones on.
Yeah.
So
I forget when Rogan had on Musk and when he had on Alex Jones. Those were massive fucking streams. Back when he was YouTube and not Spotify. So Mr. Beast, when he goes live, that motherfucker gets like 700,000 or 800,000 people. It's insane. It's insane. Yeah, it's nuts. I just can't even comprehend it. So Miss Martin Muses with a rose. Thank you so much, Teresa. We appreciate you. Gerald Armstrong for $5. Nick, Tim had to bring out the big guns to beat your stream in the ratings tonight. That was a crazy stream for sure.
That was a crazy stream.
We got that one. $5 from Brian. Binger Thinger smells like deep bum at all times. Thank you, Brian. Jake Hedge for $5. You guys are doing what men always do. Put the girl on the bottom. Shaking my head. Have some respect. We will not. No.
I do want to thank everybody. Like, you guys have been here for this whole time for the Tuesday night's main event. We really appreciate it. It's a record show for us. We've kind of hit a record every week, and so this is kind of another one. So thank you guys so much. If you're looking forward to this every week, make sure we've gained like a ton of subscribers during this stream. So thank you guys for that, and glad you're enjoying it. And we're gonna keep pressing forward. So might have a few big guests lined up for the next few weeks. We'll see. I won't be here next week, but Ryan will be hosting. But we got some big things. Like, might have a certain individual that appeared on Friday Night Tights about a month or two ago at some point. But we'll see.
Yellow Flash. Well, we should actually have Yellow Flash on here because Yellow Flash is fucking killing it. So that'd be awesome. But we got a lot of good things coming up, guys. Fedigator for $2. Hashtag backdoor binger. Yes. Proven now. Fucking proven. Bert for $5. I enjoyed last week's bromance between CW Ryan, aka alt-right Ryan, and young Rippa, recalling fond memories about Supergirl. Happy Tuesday, Jeremy.
Thank you. I highlighted a lot of these, but I didn't read them because there was a conversation going on. So we're happy to get back to them because with these big streams, it is hard to get through all the super chats. You don't want to interrupt conversation. You don't want to. We had some great conversations tonight, which is the most important element of this. Obviously, super chats are very important to us, and we want to make sure we read as much as we can. So thank you guys for bearing with us.
Yeah, we'll get them all tonight. Let's see. Gerald Armstrong for $5. There's going to be at least one juror who will fight for Kyle. I actually think, based off the reports, there's about 2 or 3 jurors who want to convict him and are going to be really tough to convince otherwise. I think everybody else is on Kyle's side. So that's kind of how I see it, at least right now.
Yeah,
but
she's back.
Hi.
All right. So are you going to go stream? We told Ripper he can go ahead and bounce because we're just going to run through all the super chats left. So are you good? So you're going to go stream Breath of the Wild over on your Krista Nova channel?
Yep, on Twitch.
All right. Well, have a good night, Krista. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the you got me caught up on all the Streamlabs stuff and all the other. So we do have to work on like the like thing in terms of like getting all of them. But yeah, you did a great job tonight. So thank you. Awesome.
Thank
you. Have fun on some Twitch with Breath of the Wild.
Thank you. Good night, guys.
Have a good stream. Bye, Krista.
Bye.
All right. There we go. And I'm logging into Streamlabs as well right now.
Should be caught up for the most part over there.
Let's see.
Yeah, we're 100% caught up over there, I think.
Awesome. Some young guy for $5. Hey guys, love the live stream. And to everyone, hail. I think you read this one already. The Let's Go Brandon. Biggles Mets for $2. There are 2 Ryans on this stream. I see 2 of him. That was probably when Nick was here. Me and Nick do look an awful lot alike.
I'll be right back.
All right. Jake Hedge for $2. COD did it. Don't go out if you can't fight 30 people. Basically. Thank you, Jake. We read that one. Going through. Talex for $5. This was for Robert. For Barnes, if someone in the courtroom shot Binger because he pointed a gun at people, that's justified by his own argument, correct? That would be tough. And obviously Binger, like, the detective clears the gun and checks the gun and clears it and everything. So I do think realistically the jury would have a reasonable expectation that it wasn't loaded, but it's a funny thing to talk about, isn't it? It certainly is. Can't believe he put his finger on the trigger. What a fucking idiot. Let's see. Tyler Klovich for $5. Oh, Ricada's Richard's voice. I don't know if I can hear. Your Honor, I have to say hello to Adam Kriegler and Nick. They're causing a lot of havoc in the streets of Kenosha. That's probably not as good as Nick's Richards because I haven't practiced as much, but there you go. There's your Honor. There's your Ricada's Richards voice. Jake Hedge for $2. Hashtag stand with Kyle. Yes, absolutely. Stand with Kyle. Captain for $50. Did you read this one? Binger, did you try covering yourself in Vaseline and slipping away?
Yeah, well, I think I highlighted it, and then I think I mentioned it, but we didn't get to really talk about it. That's pretty funny because, yeah, the Binger's questions are so fucking stupid. You know what I mean? It's unbelievable.
I'm glad you guys like the Richards. Havoc. Yeah, he talks fucking weird. He also said when he was talking about the pinky finger, he called it the baby finger, which I thought was really fucking weird. I never heard anybody say that before in my life. Except him. But yeah, thank you so much, Captain. That was $250 you sent this stream, at least that I saw. So thank you, man. We read that one. I think it was this one you read from Joshua Polson for $20. They want everyone homogenous because the only way equity works is when everyone has the same values.
I think I highlighted it, but I didn't read that one. I think I highlighted it.
Yeah, but yeah, thank you, Joshua.
Corey's excited. He says I'm famous. Corey's famous now. So
you're famous now. Ron Type for 125 Filipino pesos. Ricada's get rich quick way for Kyle won't work. Trump got canceled in Twitter. Why should he be allowed in big tech social media platforms? Why would he be allowed in big tech social media platforms? I don't exactly know what you're talking about there, Ron Type, but I appreciate it. Nick R. Say my name. Now you're like Rosenbaum and Richards.
You almost said it.
Yeah, Nick. Yeah, it was close.
It was close.
I said it pretty like pronounced.
I
Nick
know.
But say my name. Close. Josiah Fitch. I think we said that one. Barnes is a beast for $2 from Seth. Yeah, Barnes is a fucking beast. You are correct. We love Robert. Like the fact that Robert takes so much time. But he was on Megyn Kelly earlier today. If you guys don't know, he was on Megyn Kelly's earlier today, which is pretty cool that he's now coming by here. Jake Hedge for $2. Actually, those people want no police. Correct. They don't. Well, they say they don't. B. Carswell for $2. Amazing how accurate Kyle was to hit that soy's arm. Yeah, hey, Kyle was pretty accurate. He fired 8 shots and hit 6 of them. So he's got a better field goal or better shooting percentage than LeBron James at the free throw line. So, Copenhagen, he was literally running away. Who the hell runs after someone with an AR? Kind of stupid. As someone who is insane and trying to kill him and doesn't think he'll actually get shot. But he underestimated Kyle. Jester of Roanoke for $2. I wish Rush was still alive. I want his take. Oh man, that'd be interesting. I wonder if
would be interesting.
Was Rush was still alive when this happened?
I believe
so.
So
He had a take when it went down because it was only a year ago, and Rush probably passed 6-8 months ago. At this point,
he passed before the election, right?
I don't remember.
Yeah, he passed before the election.
This was in
August.
August.
Been over a year. So it was over a year ago. So maybe not.
Someone says shoot. Someone says shoot me, Nick R. Shoot me. Lancer for $5. All the big commie Twitch streamers, maybe Hassan, are teaming up to stream together to organize. Must watch and record bad things. Maybe be revealed. Thank you, Lancer. We talked about that one. Butter Biscuit, Nick, thanks for entertaining me every day and covering this trial.
Yep.
You read that?
No, Jeremy Peterson said he died February 7th, 2021. So, okay, there you go then. All right.
Yeah.
So it was after the election. Okay.
Let's see. Butter Biscuit for $5. Nick, thanks for entertaining me every day covering this trial. Great to hear you two, Barnes. Appreciate the daily news updates on locals. They kill it over on locals. We need to get better about that.
Yes, we do. We are on locals. If you want to follow us on locals, if you want to become part of our locals community, we have the biggest gaming community over there, and we literally haven't done hardly anything to justify that. So that just kind of speaks to the power of Geeks and Gamers. But like we need to recognize that you guys have been over there supporting us. So we will look, the Orlando deal. Like we need all the support we can get for what we're trying to do in Orlando. You know, this is a big project. Us moving down there, having a studio, relocating many members of the team. This is massively stressful on me, but it's necessary. It's for us to get to the next level. And me and Ryan are in a studio together. We just record shit all fucking day long. You know what I mean?
That's
like
true.
it'll be insane. So, but yeah, thank you guys for the support and check us out on locals.
Hell yeah. Turning net for $5 to trigger these algorithms is likely a report counter. Never underestimate the less willingness to use it to shut people down. You're not wrong about that, about people reporting shit. However, I do think it was fairly intentional what happened. Just like the fact that it was for kids, like that's insane. And that really limits the audience that you can get to. So it's craziness that's going on. Mr. Chubb for $5. Krigler went from apolitical hippie to Matt Walsh in just over a year. Hashtag release the Ripiverse. He went from the hair. Now he does kind of look like Matt Walsh a little bit with the glasses on. Jay Win for $5. Had friends stop by, tried talking shit after arguing for a year. Come to find out they haven't seen the video. It took hours to catch him up. Finally understand. We may have talked about that one, but either way, thank you, JK Win. Marty McFly. Count 6 was not excluded from the final jury instructions. That should be grounds for mistrial. Wow. So count 6 is the weapons, the illegal weapons charge, which was dismissed. So it should not have been in the jury instructions when they finally got there. So you're right. And the reason that could be grounds for a mistrial is because if they had that information there, just that information could make them prejudicial towards convicting on the other stuff if the idea is in their minds that the weapon was illegal to begin with. I didn't even know that was still in the jury instructions. Thank you, Marty. Let's see. I think we said that one. D-Day Cobra. You have to dig through them because YouTube is the business of total propaganda. It's from Judge Wade for $5.
That's when I was talking about all the mainstream Kyle Rittenhouse videos being ratioed.
Yeah, absolutely. You said that one about Krigler. I think we got that one. Oh, yeah, that's Uche's Twitter feed. Mr. Grant Gregory. Yeah, you said Krista's the focus of next week. Yosh Ken for 2. I'll take Adam's place in Mario Kart and I'll win 2, says Yosh Ken. The Rock Biter for $2. The left is great at using trap slogans like BLM. Yeah, we do. If you name your organization We Love Dogs or something, then all you do is push racist bullshit. When people criticize We Love Dogs, it's pretty easy to fall back in the defenseless. But everybody loves dogs. Don't you like dogs too? What are you, a puppy hater?
Yep.
That's it. Part of the narrative. We read Kevin's. Marksman. Oh, yeah. That was the store or Halo Infinite. Not applicable for $2. Ripa, don't think loot boxes is gambling? Question mark. I don't know. I don't know exactly what that's about, but Ryle Kittenhouse for $2. Ryle Kittenhouse. Ryan and Jeremy are my 2 favorite YouTubers. Let's go, Brandon. Thank you, Ryle Kittenhouse. Appreciate it. Yeah. Chris for $5 says, good evening, everyone. God bless America. God bless our republic. Happy late birthday, Ryan, and do not surrender. Do not surrender. You're goddamn right. Thank you, Chris. Lone Wolf Sands Club for $5 says moist. Just moist. I bet Ripple would get triggered by that. Not applicable for $2. Quick, make a YouTube channel. Light-skinned hive mind. Be good. The Rock Biter for $5. Theo Vaughn had the best name for Kaepernick, called him Throsa Parks, comparing millionaire athletes that chose to be millionaire athletes to slaves. We actually talked about, I put up a video on Sports Wars about that, specifically that, when Joe Rogan and him were talking about that shit. So good stuff, Rock Biter. Bert for $2. Young Ripper, the colorist, showing up today. Thank you, Bert. Jake Hedge for $5. I said it earlier. COD did it. When you defend yourself, Jeremy, in the future, they'll pull your COD clips. Be careful.
100%.
Average Joe for $5. Kyle of Duty is coming out soon. It will include Kenosha, Minneapolis, DC, Portland, and Seattle chop maps. Hey, I'll buy it. I'll buy it.
Man.
Captain Cook for $5. I love that everyone is talking about this case wherever I go. Hashtag 4 doors, more whores. Hashtag free Kyle. Thank you, Captain Cook. Yeah, I love 4 doors, more whores is Kyle's TikTok username. That's where that's coming from. So, and the fact they try to use that for, probably create it when he's like 15 or something, they're trying to use that against him is absolutely retarded.
These people are unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable.
I think we got that one. Not applicable. Oh, we said that one as well. Michael Smith for $5. They've taken everything. What's next? A blind man's cane? Maybe the next thing they'll take is the very air we breathe. They're literally coming for everything. Every fucking thing. So you're not wrong.
Nothing is safe. We've seen sports overrun with this bullshit. We've seen music. We've seen video games, comics, movies, and now it's moved into like real life stuff. It's dangerous, man. It's very dangerous.
Jake Hedge for $2. So Kyle, I think we got off on a tangent there probably. So thank you, Jake Hedge. Samurai Vader. I agree with Ripa. We must topple Jeremy in Mario Kart. Commander Ed Straker of Shadow for $5. Yes, Young Rip is right. Only give the government the power you want your own worst enemy to have, because governments always abuse their power. Thank you.
I'm gonna give somebody a shout out real quick while we're reading these. Someone that I said we were gonna give a shout out to, and I want to make sure we do that. Someone that is very awesome, and that would be Minority Home. We want to get her to 1,000 followers by the end of the year. I think, and then again, I know everybody here is not on Twitch, so I totally understand that. But I mean, if we could get her up to at least 800, that would be great, you know. So she needs 23 more. So you guys in the chat, and Steph's probably in the chat now. Feel free to drop her link. Let's get her to at least 800, but maybe even more. I don't know how many of you on Twitch, but maybe even more. We'll see.
Hell yeah. Let's get her up to 1,000.
There she is right there. There she is.
Jake Hedge for $5. No, we are fighting for our freedom for sure. Our rights are on the line, being covered online. Love it. Want to know what you guys think the verdict is. I personally think that it's going to be a little bit split, and I think that we're going to have some that are just absolutely acquitted, and there's going to be some charges that there's kind of a hung jury on. That's what I think. Because I think that I think there's a really good chance there's people in there that will refuse to acquit Kyle of everything. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that for sure. So it's scary, man. It's a scary situation. I mean, if you really think about where he's at, man, it's terrifying.
Yeah, it is. Droid Army, what's up, Dark Side Droids? For $5 says congressional term limits solve career politician problem, but nobody wants to talk about that. Well, I think we're fine talking about it. Nobody in Congress wants to talk about that because they want to keep that power, just like Ripple was saying.
Yep.
Marksman, I don't know if you did this one. Marksman 117B for $5. Trump was a single mongoose thrown into a den of vipers, and we said we did good
I read that
job.
one.
Okay.
Yep. Read it.
Guys, let Krista talk for $2. No.
She's talking on her Twitch stream right now.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
You read this from Captain. Establishment hates Trump. That's why I want him in office, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
$50 super chat. Thank you again, Captain.
There, she's talking right there.
Not applicable. Look at all that shit. Not applicable for $2. He yelled at me for disagreeing with him on loot boxes. Yeah, I don't know exactly what you're talking about, but thanks, not applicable. Corey Allen for $5. Great show, guys. About to start 7 gallons of homemade mead in a few minutes. Kriegler knows what's up. 7 gallons. Are you brewing at home? Oh, hell yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. Radio's here for $5. Says, great discussion tonight. Thank you for keeping our brain cogs going. Abso-fucking-lutely. Thank you, Radio. Tricky Ricky says 4 doors more whores for $10. Thank you, Tricky Ricky. Jesus with a $20 super sticker. It's a loot. Is that a loot box? Is that what that is? Thank you for the $20 super sticker, Jesus. Mike Hill. When Disney releases Ironheart and it turns out to not be a remake of the Japanese porno, I'm canceling my Disney Plus subscription immediately. Yeah, I don't know if you saw that, Jeremy. Turns out Ironheart may, in fact, have originally been a porno before it was.
I heard the rumors. I heard the rumors. Steph is up to 786, so she only needs 14 more. 14 more to 800.
Bird Gang for $10. The Beanie Bald Man is scared of Eric. Lol. Thank you. Tricky Ricky for $5. My money is now your money. Checkmate. Thank you, Tricky Ricky. Hell yeah, dude. Thank you so much for the support. Brown Gaijin for $5. Go ahead.
I see a few people have asked about it. I actually did a trailer reaction. It's on this channel. You can go check it out. And Ryan did one for what channel?
For Arc Outpost Live.
Okay, so Arc Outpost Live. So you can go see his thoughts. But I mean, it's fine. It's good. You know, didn't blow me away, but it's a good trailer. But I just want Toby. We need Toby.
There's a lot of people who think, let me pull this up real quick. There's a lot of people who think, I fucking hate this shit, dude. There's a lot of people who think that the people have been digitally removed from here. If you catch my drift.
Interesting. Okay.
So, possible. A little 3v3 right there.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I could see that. I could totally see that.
Yeah, me too.
Totally see that.
All right, where are we? Brown Gaijin for $5. Rip reminded me of the quote about bad agents that don't want the patient to get better. He makes good point that bad agents are everywhere. You're right. BFSD 150 for $5. Well, you know, Jeremy, by Angry Joe standards, 8 out of 10 is a badass seal of approval, and that's a pretty high rating. So what's these people's problems? They didn't know about it. That was the problem. Chris Torby for Aussie, $5. Speaking of state lines, I live in Australia and our state borders have been routinely shut down from one another during this pandemic. It's insane down here. Yeah, I fucked around with Lethal the other night on stream, but it's vastly different depending on where you live in Australia based on the rules. But there are also a lot of people in Australia that are fighting back and marching in the streets and shit. And that's awesome to see people trying to defend their freedoms. Yep. Dan Hans for $5 says on TNME, the real BBC, Calamari Boys, and on FNT, when I've super chatted, I've been called Don Hans. It's Dan. Same shit in my 7th grade yearbook. Lol. I said Dan, I think. It is tough to tell sometimes, especially in StreamYard, what that name is. But I think I said Dan, so there you go. Let's see. We read that one about the Scottsdale School Board. Brown Gaijin, better to drop a Ripper than pull a Baldwin. Just saying. It's true. Tricky Ricky for $5. No negligent discharges in the voting booth. Well, maybe negligent Rippers in the voting booth. You never know. Michael Pronesti for $7. Doesn't say anything, but thank you, Michael. Appreciate it, buddy. Marksman for $2. I will fight Adam for collectors of Elden Ring. Face off begins. Marksman for $5. Side note, Master Chief was only in 3 of 12 levels of Halo 5. Damn, that sucks. Josiah Fitch for $5. Here's another super chat. Shouting out my wife's and I 4-year anniversary. Love you, babe. Well, hey, to Mrs. Fitch, happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. Congrats.
There you go. Cold Haterade for $5. Whatever the verdict, Kyle's mom should sue all the news journalists regardless, especially Don Lemonhead and Joy Reject. Yeah, I think there will definitely be people that are interested in that happening. But defamation is very hard to prove. We'll see what happens, but I hope he goes for it because there's going to be people that support him.
And Yoshkin, actually, Ripa and I and Krista, we actually played Mario Party on for Geeks and Gamers Premium just a few days ago. So for our premium members of geeksandgamers.com, we played it and we had a lot of fun. And Ripa did nothing but talk shit the whole time. He did good. I mean, we were both with him were like neck and neck for like who had the most wins because we just played mini game rotation. It was a lot of fun, but Ripa talked a lot of shit, shockingly enough.
Yeah. The Under Armour Gamer for $5. How do you make the 4+ video podcast art?
What?
The 4+ video podcast art.
I don't know.
I don't know exactly what that means, Under Armour Gamer. Not 1,000% on that, to be real. So I can't tell you. I don't know what that means. Mr. Grant Gregory for Aussie $2. Send me all your embarrassing footage of Krista.
There's some clips out there.
D-Day Direwolf for $5. Great stream, guys. Keep it up. I'll drop more glide bombs later. Oof. Glide bombs. Not fun when you're up against them. Jess, aka SBD Girl, for $5. Ryan Bean from Indiana can probably back me on this. Miners with long barrel guns is common in the Midwest for hunting deer and duck. Yeah, like it's not super uncommon to see. Now, there is a little bit of a misconception. People are saying that's only for the purposes of hunting. It doesn't say that in Wisconsin law. In fact, there's 2 separate exceptions. One is for people under the age of 18 that are specifically having them for hunting. And another is just in general for people allowed to possess them that doesn't specify hunting. So, and that's where really the argument gets blown out of the water and why they had to drop those charges and why they should have never been allowed in the beginning. The judge should have thrown it out immediately, never even let it get this far. But I think he wanted to see if the prosecution could provide any evidence, but it was clear that the letter of the law was very obvious. It's complex, but it's obvious if you actually read it. D-Day Darrow for $5. I said, fuck you when Zendaya told Strange a magic word she knows is please.
I didn't like that. And I didn't like the disrespect to Doc Ock. I didn't like it. You know, that was the only 2 lines that really bothered me. But outside of that, the trailer was fine.
Yeah, I mean, like,
it's just that Marvel fucking humor. It's that fucking Marvel.
It's Marvel humor, but I will defend it a little bit and say that, you know, Spider-Man is a kid. They're supposed to be a kid. Tom Holland's probably like fucking 35. I don't know how old that motherfucker is, but he's a kid and he is like fairly disrespectful at times to his like
I
enemies.
don't think Tom
you know
Holland's 35.
I was joking.
No, I know, but that makes me curious. How old is he?
26.
25. So
yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, it's close. All right, we're all caught up there. Let me just make sure we're all caught up on Streamlabs here as well.
Again, I really do appreciate you guys so much. And again, if you're interested to see us play video games, I don't know if I'm going to stream on Geeks and Gamers, but I'm definitely going to be playing with the guys. So Ripa is going to be streaming it. I know Lethal might be streaming it. And then of course, Krista's over here talking about food right now. And then, like I said, let me see where Steph's at on followers.
For the Under Armour Gamer,
11 away. Steph is 11 away from 800. So,
boom.
Yeah,
for the Under Armour Gamer, like the backgrounds for these streams. So we got it on Fiverr. I forget the person's name exactly, but on Fiverr there is a you can just get a lot of people that'll make backgrounds and stuff like that.
If you want, if you want to go over there and Krista on Twitch, you can ask her right now. She's the one that kind of connected us with the people. I mean, because I got a bunch of different ones. You know, I got that one. This is for premium. So when we stream on premium, we have that one. I have my D-Day Cobra one. Ryan has all of his. So yeah, it's good stuff. And then of course we still have Titanfall 2, which is a dead game, and I don't want to talk about it anymore. So we'll just go back to that.
Bird up for $5. A pedo and a domestic abuser get shot, and the SJWs turn them into martyrs.
I missed that one. My bad.
There you go. Yeah, you're not wrong, Bird up.
You're not wrong.
Fucking wrong. These people are insane. But thanks for reminding me in there. Appreciate it.
This was an awesome stream. I really do appreciate Nick Ricada coming on and Robert Barnes. So again, you will see, and he wasn't always able to make it, but Mondays we have Robert on when he can make it for our Sports Wars stream, Monday evening quarterback. Ryan hosts that. So yeah, totally awesome to have Robert connected to us in any way, shape, or form. Obviously, Young Ripa, having Adam Krigler on is always great. And yeah, the future is bright for Geeks and Gamers. Tuesday night's main event, a record night. Couldn't have done that without you guys, and still maintaining 1,300 people at 1:30 in the morning Eastern. So there is discussions about possibly bumping the time up a little bit for this show. It'll make it more manageable for people because it is pretty late. So yeah, we will be looking into that, guys. But thank you so much.
Yep. And real quick, Geeks and Gamers, I'm new to this channel. I came here after a leftist told me to avoid it. That's how I knew there must be something good here. That is fucking awesome.
That is awesome. I couldn't imagine like making my entire day about talking about YouTube channels that you shouldn't watch. Because again, all it does is it's going to, you have an audience, and an audience is an audience, whether that's an audience of 10 people, 20 people, 50, 100, or 1,000. Okay. An audience is an audience. So if you have 100 people watching your stream and your stream is dedicated to saying Geeks and Gamers is a bad channel and you should not watch them, well, you're going to have a percentage of those people that are absolutely going to agree with everything you say. Okay. But those people only know what I'm saying or Ryan's saying or Geeks and Gamers saying by watching us every day. So why are they still watching us if we're so bad? Then you have another percentage of that audience that's just absolutely not going to care either way. I don't give a shit what Geeks and Gamers talk about. Then you have another percentage of the audience that go, never really heard of Geeks and Gamers. What's the problem with Geeks and Gamers? And those people are going to watch this. And then a certain portion of those people are going to stay because they like what they see. So that's why I always encourage people to talk bad about me. Because all you're doing is opening more people up to what we're doing. And then people will make up their own mind. But it's so funny. Leftists don't understand this. And if people say, well, you do the same thing with movies, that is 100% not the same thing. 100% not. I don't have hundreds of millions of dollars to promote Geeks and Gamers. Movie studios have hundreds of millions of dollars. So, but yeah, it is what it is. Thank you so much, leftists. Thank you.
And then the Androdolf, Norwegian 20, here to shill GNG Reddit at r/Geeks Gamers community.
Been doing it forever. I say the Andradel. I don't know which way it is, Androdol or Andradel. But either way,
I'm going to assume I'm right.
Well, probably not, because I've been saying it for about 3 years now.
Orange-a-gontin.
But yeah, great stuff. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you over on, at least I'll be on Ripa's Twitch channel. Probably you can hear me over there. I don't know if I'm going to stream or not, because I don't want to be up till 6 a.m. tonight, but fuck it. If I do go live, it's either going to be on Geeks and Gamers Twitch or D-Day Cobra Twitch, probably Geeks and Gamers. But thank you guys for the support. Definitely go check out Young Ripa. Go follow My Nerdy Home. Go check out Krista Nova, Lethal Lightning. Awesome stuff going on.
And if you're not interested in any of those streams, Nick Krikeda is also live right now with 16,000 people watching.
There you go,
so you can always go and check him out for the latest on all the stuff. He's absolutely killing it. Maybe we get the verdict tomorrow. Maybe. We can only hope.
Maybe.
But and right before we end it, D,
wow,
for 50 Aussie dollars. Thank you, D. Do you guys sleep at all? I could not do what you are doing. Respect. Go get some sweet Taco Bell. I got a Taco Bell gift card for my birthday. $15 at Taco Bell is basically fucking unlimited amount of money.
That's pretty unlimited. It absolutely is.
I would say that, but I spend about $18 every time I go to Taco Bell. So, but thank you for the very generous super chat. We sleep sometimes. Jeremy sleeps all during the day.
Yeah, I'm up all night and sleep during the day. So, yeah, it's good stuff.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We're going to get the fuck out of here. We will talk to you later. Peace.